We actually left off last stream was stuck on this stupid platform in the middle of this diamond section. Not really sure how to progress, but that's okay. So there's the link to this game. It's not on sale or anything, but I can recommend it if you like this sort of puzzle game, Witness style, Witness inspired puzzles, I suppose. Sorry, the sound is not working. There we go. So yeah, where we left off was we'd solved 3 areas. We were just looking at a 4th area, which was the area with the dice faces. I couldn't figure out how to unlock the final puzzle of the area, and decided that maybe there was something like a secret hidden. And then I found the environmental puzzle, so the actual game map has a puzzle embedded within it. And I thought, oh, maybe we need to solve that to solve the area. But then I came back here to this area. I found a puzzle embedded within this area. And I didn't manage to solve that puzzle either. But I did manage to solve the area. So I feel like it can't be requiring me to... hang on a minute. I can only exit this platform from these brown steps, so let me actually figure out how to get to one of them. It can't be a requirement to solve the environmental puzzle to solve the area, because I didn't do it in this area. So there must be something else I'm missing. There we go. Just trying to get to one of the exits. So these diamonds around the edge of the map, those are part of a puzzle. So there must be something else I'm missing in the dice face area. But I think what I'll do for now is look at some areas we haven't been to yet. Just to do something fresh for this stream, and then we can come back later. So there are quite a few areas, like up here. We haven't been up here. Whatever unlocks this door, we haven't found the other end of it yet. I don't think we've gone right from the entrance at all, apart from briefly, and then thought, oh, this looks complicated, I'm going to go back. Let's see, sorry, people are saying things in chat about the alert system going off. Yeah, it was the largest use of the alert system according to the news. Yeah, I don't think they can target it very precisely because they didn't actually limit it to just the people in the red area. It's basically people by the coast who are at risk, and I'm not that close to the coast. I'm like 20 miles inland. Alex says, I hope you all stay safe. Harry says, I have a yellow wind warning and I'm barely in the yellow rain area. Yeah, so the thing is, yellow weather is just what people in other countries would call weather. It just means there's something actually happening. Pretty much. Tibago says, I am indeed in the amber area, but I'm not worried and no emergency alert yet. No, I think they're only doing the emergency alert for the red area. And the red is like trees are going to blow over and your house might be damaged if it's not maintained properly, that sort of thing. So we came down here, and this isn't actually active yet. We have to solve something else to unlock it. This is active, but it looks a bit complicated, and I'm hoping there's a tutorial for this type of puzzle somewhere else. So we had a look round that sort of industrial area. We can't go through there. Then we came up here, Oh, we looked at, yeah, we looked at this area, but we didn't actually... Yeah, we can't, it's tricky to see because it's a 2D game, but I can't go into this area. There's like a cliff edge here, and I'm down below all of this. So I can see a puzzle there and some very nice botany going on, but I can't get up there. And likewise, all of these puzzles are sat on top of pillars. So I can't get to any of them either, but I can see there's a whole new section over here with a new type of clue that I don't know about yet. The question is, where's the starting point? Is it up here, perhaps? El Tibago says it's a 3-minute walk to the seafront. Yes, Tibago lives by the coast. Emma does not live by the coast. Okay, this looks like it might be the entrance to this area. Loving these flower beds. Already wondering if this is some sort of environmental puzzle that I'm looking at. Harry says I'm about the same distance from the west-east coasts, so I'm fairly well sheltered from the storms. Yeah, I mean, the east coast usually isn't too bad. The prevailing weather in the UK and Ireland comes from the southwest off of the Atlantic Ocean. So it's the west coast that is the most exposed. We do get wind from other directions, but not often. El Tibago says, saw the Factorio video on YouTube is doing pretty well. 420 Blaze It viewers at the moment. Yes, I think that's just on account of it being Factorio rather than anything else. It's getting recommended to people who search for Factorio videos. A lot of people are searching for Factorio videos. Firstly, it's just a popular game, and secondly, it had an expansion come out recently. Of course, my video isn't of the expansion, but YouTube doesn't know that. So this looks like the starting point for these. I'm going to call them flower puzzles. These things do look a bit like they could be flower petals, and obviously I'm being influenced by this giant display behind me. So I have no clue what the rule is for these yet. I need to figure that out. This is only like a cross-shaped grid. I can't do anything with the corners. And this central symbol is always on. And okay, if I try to solve the puzzle, it says no, that's not right. What if I just have that one? Okay. It is happy with just that one. Is it happy with just that one? Or that one? That one. Okay, is it happy with that? No. 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 And no. Okay. On that basis, I think it's going to be about how many edges, like how many adjacent cells are lit. So does 1 yellow and 3 pink mean 1 needs to be on and 3 need to be off? Because yeah, 3 on, 1 off doesn't work. So by that logic, this would be 2 and 2. This would be 3 and 1. This would be all of them. And that would be none of them. Ah, okay. Here's where my assumption falls apart. We have 4 pink symbols on the cell, which implies none of them have to be on, and yet that's not the solution. What am I doing wrong? Okay, that also means all of... Ah, no! I see what's happening. I see what's happening. The central cell is on these first 4 puzzles. So it's the number of the number of adjacent cells that match the central cell. So here it's on, all 4 of them match. Here it's saying none of them have to match. So I have to make them all be on because the central one is off. Okay. That's what I'm going to go with. Let's see if it works. Ah, okay. Immediately we confuse matters by having colours. Yeah, we can have pink or green now. Well, it's about matching the middle cell, isn't it? So the middle cell is pink, so we have to have 3 matching, so we need 1 green. Now the middle cell is green, we need 3 matching. Now it's pink and we need 1 matching. Oh, sorry, pink and 1 matching, which means that. Purple and 1 matching, which means that. Purple and 2 matching. And yellow and none matching, which means that. Okay, I think I understand the rule. What is this? This appears to be made of diamonds, which is interesting. I know what diamonds do, I just don't know where I would input the solution to this puzzle. Doesn't seem to be applicable to any of these. A hidden thing. Sometimes there are hidden entrances to areas, but I'm not seeing a hidden entrance here. I'm just seeing a bunch of flowers. I can go for a walk in these flower beds, but I can't. No puzzles to unlock by doing that. Okay. So now I know what these symbols mean. Oh, is this is this whole 3x3 thing one giant puzzle? That's going to be tricky because how do I get to those middle ones? There's no way. These presumably are bridges. Okay, yes, that solves that puzzle, but now what? Where do I go? Oh, what if I solve it differently? Oh. Okay, I was thinking, yeah, so I was just thinking this clue type is independent of where the cells actually are. It's just one of them has to be lit. But actually, right, the one that's lit controls where the bridge is. So I need to light the one to the right to make the bridge go right. And then here, this is also 1. So if I do the one at the bottom, yeah, then the bridge is going to move down there. Notice these puzzles are actually changing as the bridge moves. If I put the bridge back here, this one has no yellows, it's all purple, to represent the fact that there are no bridges connected to this. If I do this, now there's a yellow because there's a bridge connected to this. This is really interesting. Hello, Ren. Welcome in. Hope you're doing okay on this rather blustery Friday. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day. Now then, I think I want to be over here because I can see a platform. Actually, I can see a platform here as well. Do I want to be here or here? Or here? This must go somewhere. Let's try going left first. Ren says, just want to drop a lurk of support. I have to work, and this looks like something I want to play, so I'm avoiding spoilers. Yes, that seems sensible then. Ren was the one who originally requested The Witness. This game was heavily inspired by The Witness and is the same sort of logic puzzle type game. So I think, Ren, you will enjoy it. Hello, Elfie. Congratulations on being first. And also for redeeming your flower of the day. I hope you're well, Elfie. Thank you for being here. Those are some flashy heart emotes you have there, Elfie. Sleepy 1200. Heart of Leapy. That's a nice one. We are back today with Taiji, Elfie. Solving the puzzles. Or hopefully solving the puzzles. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, I already had access to this area because you can get to it from down here. But these puzzles aren't active yet. I was hoping that solving the ones up here might cause them to become active. No. Okay, apparently there's a lot more to it than that. What is all this? I mean, there's a trail of red wires which are obviously not powered. Where do the wires start? Like, what would I have to solve first in order to power up this wire? That's what I don't get. Where's the starting point in this chain? Maybe I need to come back to that area later. Let's try over the other side. This one now has 2 bridges, so its puzzle has 2 dots on it. But that's still a solution. Ah, yes, I can just move both bridges across. That's neat. More flower puzzles. Ah, right, yes, and puzzles we can actually solve because the button is... if the button is actually poking out of the floor like this, that means it's a puzzle we can solve. Okay, this is telling me that nothing can match with any adjacent cell, so I think it's going to be like a checkerboard pattern. Yeah. Now we have to have exactly 1 matching cell on every tile. Okay. So if we start with this corner one, we need 1 of them to match. So that needs to be lit up and that needs to be dark. This needs to have 1 matching, which it already does, so those both need to be dark. Now this has a matching one, so this needs to be different. This has a matching one, so these both need to be different. This needs a matching one, so that one has to be, and then that one has to be different. Okay, we're just going to end up with dominoes, basically. I could probably have reasoned that directly. And then we need 2 matching. Okay, so the corners, the only way to have 2 matching in the corner is to have them both the same colour. This needs 2 matching, so that would work? Actually, yeah, is it just squares? Okay, it's just squares. Right then, and then that has opened this? Oh, no, this is a different type of puzzle up here. This is a different area. I kind of want to do more of these puzzles first. Is there some secret exit here? No, I don't think there is. Okay, how do I get... I can see other puzzles on the screen, but I can't see how I get to them. Like, it looks like there's an exit here, but there isn't. I'm inside this building, and these puzzles are on top of the building. Oh, I see what's going on. Look, there should have been a path this way, but it's crumbled away. So I just need to make my way there with the bridges. I can do that. There we go. Yeah, sometimes, on account of this game being 2D, it can be a bit difficult to tell what you're looking at. So now we're in this area. Okay, and here's the fire that signifies completing the area. If I can light this up, then I've completed the area. Are any of these puzzles actually active? No, they're not. They must be floor puzzles because there's no separate buttons. These must turn into buttons. But I'm pressing space and nothing's happening. So we must need to solve something to unlock these. Okay, let's try going down from here then, because that's the direction we haven't been yet. Okay. Is this going to be the same or is this going to be different? No, this is... Okay, I think we need to do this area next because this is the same type of puzzle. So just one matching that. Just one matching that. Oh, sorry, that's forced to be off. So that. One matching that and one matching that. One matching each of those. One match of those. Okay, that was quite easy. Maybe this is just to help you if you haven't quite got the rule yet. These all need to have one matching edge, so that. Hello, Hurricane, welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a beer thistle. Hope you are having a good week. Okay, match that and also match that. So that. Oh, and that. No, that doesn't work. Okay. These two need to have just one. So that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this needs to have 3 matching. And there are only 3 cells adjacent, and one of them is forced to be on, so they all have to be on. By that logic, these all have to be on, and also this has to be on, and also this. They just all have to be on. Nothing matching, so we need to do that. Nothing matching the corners, but 2 need to match in the middle. Okay. But the corners force that. Oh, okay, so one of the corners needs to be lit and these off, and then this needs to be not lit and these on, and then now 2 of those match. Yeah, okay. Where does that take us? Oh, that lights up this. That's interesting. Oh, now this whole puzzle is lit up. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we need to make like a chain of bridges to light up more areas. That's really cool. I did notice also down here. This is just to give us a back way into this area. So we might as well do that. Okay. This cell here, we need nothing to match it. And this is forced to be on. So these all have to be on. This cell 2 have to match, and we've established these 2 have to be on, so that has to be on. That is now satisfied because we have 1 matching. This 3 need to match, so they all have to be on. This one 4 need to match, so they either have to be all on or all off. This one, okay, and the 1 is going to be that one, so these need to be different to that. This we also need 1 matching. And both these are the same colour, so this needs to be a different colour. Yeah, like that. Okay. That gives us a shortcut back to that area. Yeah, now I think we need to get to grips with whatever's happening over here. What I think is happening is I'm like transmitting the power from down here by connecting these bridges. So yeah, I think if I can get power to go this way, then I would be able to power up this, and then I'd be able to solve these puzzles. However, if I do that, yeah, so the power isn't coming because the bridge isn't connected anymore. I need there to be 2 bridges on this pillar, and I think the only way to do that would be to go and fetch... Like, you can move bridges between pillars, but no matter what you do, the number of bridges doesn't change. So I think I need to, like, bring a bridge over. How is that going to work? Let me try and bring both bridges over, just so we have more to work with. I bring this one down. And then I bring this one over. And then bring that one up. Yeah, now we have all three bridges connected. We must be able to do something from here. Yeah, if we do that... Ah, okay. Well, we've got power as far as here, but still, if I move this bridge, it won't work. Yeah, we specifically need 2 bridges on this one. And I can get 2 bridges on that one if I do this. The problem with that is now we're not powering the over here. So I guess that is what we need to do. Yeah, there we go. Now I do this. Hooray! We powered up the thing. And solve... Ah, no, hang on. This is... But this is not flower puzzles, this is dice puzzles. But I know how to solve these, I think. Wait, do I? This has to be in an area of 9. This has to be in an area of 3. These have to be in areas of 1. That's 7, 8, 9. And those are 1, and that's 3. Okay. Oh no. They've started combining symbols. This is going to be where it gets confusing. I knew this was coming because the witness has puzzles that combine symbols. So both these middle pieces need to match 3 out of 4. I think it's probably going to be these 3 and not match that one. Because if it matched that one, then it would have to... Yeah, I think it's that and then that to make an area of 4. Oh, no, that doesn't make an area of 4. Oh, is it that? No, that is the opposite of what I want. That doesn't match 3. Whatever colour the 4 is, I think this has to be the same colour. Because either I do that, or I do that, and then we've got 2 this colour, and there's no way we can have 3 the same colour unless we light that up. So I think that is required. But then by the same logic, that's required on the other side as well. That? Okay, that's how we do it. Oh, and this is the same thing, but only 3 on each side. It's just that then. Okay. These are definitely harder puzzles than what we've been working with before. Maybe is the fact that the light is red. I'm not sure of the significance of... Some puzzles have had this bluish-white light, and then some have had this red light. Does the red light mean the puzzles are harder? Does the frame being red mean the puzzles are harder? Who knows? Okay, this has to not be the same colour as either of its neighbours. This has to not be the same colour as any of its neighbours. These have to be the same colour as both their neighbours, so it's either they're all dark or they're all light. If they're all dark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not going to work. But we can light that one up. Now it works. Okay. So far, so good. 2 of these need to match. 2 of these need to match, which we could do by doing that. But this needs to be 8. Right now it's 12. Oh, and this needs to match 2, which it doesn't. And if we light up those 2, then now this is all broken. And if we light up these 2, then that's not right. Okay. We could do that, and then light some of these up. Is that 8? That is 8. Okay, that's the answer then. This has to just be 1. LT Bago says we're only 40 minutes in and my brain is already broken. Yeah, these ones, I think you'd have been alright with just the flowers, I think, because all that the flower symbol means is match that number of adjacent cells. These ones where you've got to work with 2 rule sets at the same time are a bit more tricky. This dot means that this cell has to be in an area of size 1. Which is another way of saying if this is on, then these 2 cells need to be off. And if this is off, then these 2 cells need to be on. This is saying that only 1 cell can be matching, and this cell is also forced to be off. So these can't both be off, because then this would be completely broken. So these have to be on, this has to be off, and then one of these has to be on. This says that 2 of the adjacent cells need to match. This says that there has to be an area of 3, so it would be that, or that, or that. Actually, no, it can't be that, because this can only be 2. And this says that 1 has to match. So that would work as far as the... Oh no, that this is also forced to be off. Okay. So one of these is on. If it's that one, then this has to be on as well to make that work. And this one can't be on. That one not being on is a bit awkward for the 3, because the 3 can't go like that, so it would have to go like that. Or like that. But if it goes like that, then that's on. If it goes like that, then this has 2 matching cells and it breaks, so that's no good. If it goes like that, then that has 2 matching cells and that's no good. So I think that means this can't be here, it has to be here. And this has to be off. And this has to be on, I think. And this has to be on, so then this just has 1 matching edge and then that. Okay. No? Oh, no, that's more than 3. This? Yes, okay, I was close. I think my brain is rapidly going the way of yours, T-Bagger. But apparently I enjoy this sort of stuff. So there we go. Okay, the center is easy. The center is saying all 4 edges have to match. So either they're all on or they're all off. In particular, this area includes this 4. But we've already got 5 cells in that area. So this 4 is broken. And the only way we can fix it is to have the other 4 be in here as well. And have this area be size 8. That is already 6 cells, so it has to be like these 2, or these 2, or these 2. Somehow we have to use 2 cells here to connect these 2 areas. This is saying that all 3 sides have to match. This is saying that only 2 sides have to match. This is saying that only 1 side matches. So we can make 2 sides match here by doing this, and 1 side matches here, but now this is broken. We could do this, that looks better. Now 2 sides match here, 1 side matches here. This needs to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can do that one, because that doesn't interfere with this or this. And then we just need to connect 2 here. Okay. Yeah, I like these. I think these puzzles are quite well designed. Whoever designed this game obviously knows how to design good logic puzzles, because you can pick a starting point and work through logically and deduce the solution. Some games that have puzzles like this, that doesn't work, and you end up having to just try different things until it solves itself. There are a few teeny tiny trains puzzles that were like that. These, it seems like, were made by someone who's good at logic puzzles, and I appreciate that. Right, we have our old friends, the diamonds, again. LT Bagger says, "Oh, I forgot to say, fellow UK friends, please ensure your trampolines are properly secured. I don't need another free surprise trampoline." I don't own a trampoline. Also, if I owned one and it ended up in Tibago's garden, that would be quite an achievement from where I live. But I'm more intrigued by the notion that you've received a free surprise trampoline before Tibago. I do hope nobody was injured in that incident. Harry is not seeing the downside of a free trampoline. It's more a free trampoline moving at 70 miles an hour into your face that's the potential issue, Harry. I agree on the face of it, a free trampoline would be great. Okay, the gimmick with these diamonds is each region has to contain 2 diamonds. Well, it doesn't have to. Each diamond has to be within a region that has only one other diamond of the same colour. So you want 2 diamonds of the same colour in the same region. Like that. Or that. This is alright because we've got 2 white and 2 yellow. But this would be bad because we would have 3 yellow. These 2 are forced to be on, so we can't do that. So we definitely have to connect these 2 somehow, and we definitely have to connect these 2 somehow. And we also want each of these regions to have 2 yellows in. So if we did that, and then that was 2 yellows. This almost works, except that has to be off. So it doesn't work at all. What about then if we do it that way round? So this has 2 yellows in, this has 2 yellows. We can block that off there. Okay, the only problem now is this has 4 yellows. So yeah, it works a bit. This is an advanced puzzle, so it won't even tell me what's wrong when it blinks, but I know the rule for these diamonds already. Elsie Bago says, no word of a lie, when I lived with my parents, one day after a storm, there was a very large trampoline sat, perfectly placed, with its safety nets and everything, in our garden. Did you get to keep it, or did the rightful owners come round to your house shortly afterwards, asking if you'd seen the trampoline? Harry says, there is a brick wall and nearly 200 miles between my face and any potential trampolines flying at 70. That is good news, Harry. The bad news is then I don't think you'll be getting any free trampolines tonight. Okay, what do I actually do here? Because if I try to, like, say, oh, these ones are going to be dark, and I'll come around like this. Now I've cut off this one. That works. Oh, that. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, match one of each edge. Isn't that just that? Okay, yeah, some of these are easier than others. Some I just see the answer. Match one edge of those. So let's say we have the white ones going like that. Then we have one edge matched here. But we need one edge matched here as well. That. Yeah, okay. right, the green ones definitely have to connect. And they can't connect through here because then this cell would have matching edges and it needs to have no matching edges. So they're going to do something like this. And then that one would have to be on as well. Now then, how do we do these yellows? Oh, like that. There we go. Right, this one has to have every edge match. And these just need to be grouped into pairs somehow. So it's that. This would have to be on, otherwise that one's broken. And then we can do what we like with the rest of these tiles, as long as we make pairs. Oh wait, no, hang on, I forgot. I forgot the gimmick of these, because there's an odd number of diamonds. But with the diamonds, you don't have to match another diamond, you have to match any shape at all of the same colour. And there has to be 2 of them. So this diamond pairs up with this. And then those two, and those two. Yeah, okay. I'd forgotten about that rule. El Tibago says, it landed in the back garden of our house on a terraced estate. We put a sign on the front gate, but nobody ever came to claim it. Would have had to be dismantled to even get it out. There was no access to the garden other than through the house. Or an equally strong wind in the other direction might have done it. So did you just have a free trampoline from that point onwards? Right, these can't match any of their neighbours, so let's colour them in. And then we need to divide this into 2, so that works. Oh, where did that go? Over here. Oh dear, these are getting big. Where do I want to start on this one? Oh, this can't match any edges, but this is forced on, so they all have to be on. This cell has to be on because otherwise, how does this diamond ever match anything? Oh, this cell is forced on and all edges have to match, so they all have to be on. This cell has to be different to all its neighbours, so that has to be on. This has to be on because otherwise how does that diamond match with anything? And that has to be on because that doesn't match. Okay, so far so good. So we need a pair of diamonds here, so it would be convenient if we just do that. Actually, no, hang on. I keep forgetting. That counts as matching that one, so that's done. So we need to not have one here. So that, in fact, needs to be off. I'll mark... You can press M in this game to, like, shade a cell in purple, which is like saying, I'm not marking this as on, but I'm saying I want it to be off. So I know that one needs to be off. That one needs to be off because otherwise this diamond would be in here. And then... Oh, this... Hang on, yeah, this... I just realised this is forced to be off as well. It's a bit more subtle when something's forced to be off, but it's got a dashed line around which forces it to be off. So all these cells are off, which means this diamond is off because otherwise how does it match with anything? Which means this one has to be on? Because otherwise it would make a 3 here. So this one has to go to this side. This has to go here. This needs to not match any of these, so that needs to be on. I think that solves it. No, there's still 3 diamonds in this region. Panic. Oh wait, no, we can inverse that. There we go. Tibago says, yep, was there for years, was enjoyed by my sister's kids. Yeah, So, in October 1987, there was a huge storm in southern England. Tibago might remember when this happened. I don't, because I was 6 months old at the time. But my parents lost their bin in that storm, and they never did find it. They went like round all the nearby streets, and they never did find their bin. So they got off a lot better than most people who lost roof tiles or even half the roof or trees. There were entire forests blown down. That was one of the few times we don't usually get actual legitimate hurricanes in the UK, because hurricanes form in the Western Atlantic or in the Gulf of Mexico, and then ravage the American East Coast, and then they do sometimes set off across the Atlantic, but by the time they get here, they've worn out. They're just storms rather than hurricanes. But yeah, 1987 there actually was one here. Quite famously, BBC weather forecaster went on air saying, "We've been receiving worried calls that a hurricane is coming. Don't worry, there isn't. It will get quite windy, but there won't be a hurricane." But in fact, it was hurricane force winds. But yeah, weather forecasting has come a long way in the almost 40 years since then. So now, now your phone starts blaring at you if there's even a strong wind. Tibago says, "I think I have a vague memory of it. As a 7-year-old holding onto my mum on the way to the shop so she didn't blow away. I wasn't a smart child." Yeah, so you were in North Wales in those days. So yeah, it was quite windy there. I think the south got it the worst then. Because I remember there's a town in Kent called Sevenoaks. And it's called Sevenoaks because it had a row of 7 ancient oak trees in the middle of the town. That is until 1987, and then it had one. And now it has 1 old one and 6 young ones. Obviously they replanted them, but those trees were centuries and centuries old, so they'd survived hundreds of years worth of storms, and that was the one that I think at the time they said it was like a 1 in 1,000 year event. But one of the effects of climate change, people think climate change just means warming temperatures, but it doesn't. It also means, for the UK in particular, it means more rain and more stormy weather. So maybe they'll become more common. But yeah, the storm we're having this weekend, we get one of those every few years. We had one called Dennis a while back, and we had one called Eunice a while before that. And they're not... personally, I'm not sure they're worth blaring at me from my phone for, but... stupid people who think, oh, let's just go and stand under a tree on the coast and admire the wind. Maybe those people need telling what to do. Right, sorry. Emma getting distracted and not talking about puzzles. Right, how on earth does this work then? Because this diamond is purple, and there are no purple symbols on this grid. So we are going to have to come up with a new rule about these symbols. I know that the yellow symbols, the yellow diamonds can match with the yellow symbols. This is half yellow and half purple. Does that mean it can match? Like, is that allowed? No, it's not allowed because it's flashing. Oh, actually, is it flashing because it needs to match too? Is that valid? Wow, okay, hang on, yeah, the pink diamond isn't flashing, so this is allowed to match that diamond. Harry says there are probably people who first learned about the storm because of the Earth. Maybe. Maybe the world has changed, and I'm stuck in the past. But I consider it part of my duty as a British citizen to stay informed about the weather at all times. How else am I supposed to make meaningless small talk with my co-workers? That's what we do in this country. We talk about the weather, because there's nothing more interesting to talk about. Altibago says, to be fair, I am one of those people. If you weren't streaming, I'd have been tempted to go for a little walk down the seafront just to get blown around for a bit. Well, so you know it's windy, Tibago. You just don't have any common sense. There's not much we can do about that. Right, I am curious about this now. Can it serve as... Okay. It works with the yellow diamond as well. So the rule we need to have is if a symbol has two colours on it, then it can match a diamond of either colour. But presumably not both colours. No, not... Oh, no, wait, that does match both. Oh, this is weird. So the pink diamond is matching that symbol, and the yellow diamond is also matching that symbol, and it still counts as pairing them up correctly. I mean, this solution wouldn't work in general, because that would have to be on, and now it's broken. But yeah, that's fascinating. Okay, let's try to actually solve it. So whatever colour this is, these have to be the same colour. And then this has to be the same colour, because it has to match too. Then the purple diamond could match that. Yeah, that still works. Then we just need to match the two diamonds. Yeah, okay. Incredible that I can get this far in the game and learn a new rule about the diamonds, but there we go. Okay, each of those has to match two. So whatever colour this is, this diamond is the same colour. I mean, one of two things is happening here. Either these are going in like a zigzag, or it's like that, and then like that, and then like that. That's also matching two in each. Actually, yeah, doesn't that just work? Oh no, because this is considered to match the diamond. Oh, okay. So this satisfies all of the flower clues. It doesn't satisfy that diamond because that diamond is now adjacent to two of these. So that diamond has to be a different colour to those, but then they don't work. What? Okay, so my thing of doing little wedges like that can't be the right answer. Because if I try and do it the other way around, now I have the same problem at this end. Whatever colour that is, this has to be the same colour, and then that's broken. Okay, so it's not making triangle pieces like that that's the solution. Is it making squares like that that's the solution? And then blocking off these? No, because now there's three shapes that match. Yeah, these two match, so that needs blocking off from everything else. But then these 3, 4 match. Then that would have to be different, and then that would have to be different. Yeah, this corner of the puzzle is solved, but the rest of it isn't solved yet. What if we do that? So now that matches with that. We just have an issue here of these 3. But we can put this diamond in the same region as that one. There we go. That was a tricky one. Okay. We have purple diamond, purple shape, but this shape is saying none of the edges can match. So this diamond can't actually be in the same region as that shape. So this diamond has to match with this. And this is only allowed to have one matching edge. Let's say it's that edge, and this comes all the way around here to meet that diamond. These have to match all the edges, so like that. Oh, but now we have a problem because of this. Can't match these because there's two of them. Oh, but can it match even though there's only 1/4 of this is yellow? Does that still count? It does still count. Okay, so any amount of colour, the diamond can match that colour. Wow, 4 colours now. Okay, so there has to be a path from this diamond to this diamond of the same colour. And a path from this diamond to this diamond of the same colour. The only way for that to happen is all 4 of these corner diamonds of the same colour. Do I want that colour to be on or off? This is actually rotationally symmetrical, so I don't think it matters. So let's call it on, and say that we do that. This is forced on, this is forced off, so we can't match these 2 diamonds with each other. This diamond has to match one of these shapes. This diamond has to match the other one. So whichever shape matches this, the other one has to match that. And the other one has to match that. Yeah, okay. So... we need to create a dark region that contains one of these. Which means the other 3 sides would need to be light. And a light region that contains one of these. But that means the other 3 sides would have to be dark, and we've already got 2 light sides. So what's going on? Yeah, this middle bit is the bit we need to figure out before we can make any more progress. We need to match this to one of these and this to one of these, and have them obey all the other rules they need to obey. Maybe we do it like that and that. And those would have to be on. But only one of these can match. How on earth does this work? These can't both be the same colour. If they're both the same colour, then either this one, these two have to be different colours, because one of them needs to match with the diamond that's forced on. One has to match with the diamond that's forced off. These can't both be the same colour, because then either there's 2 matching that one or there's 2 matching that one, and both of these have to have 1 matching. So these are different colours. And so let's say that that's the one that's on. If this is the on cell, then these have to be off. And that would be there, or maybe there. This would have to be the off cell, so those 3. Yeah, okay, that's a valid solution to the middle bit. Except for the small issue of this yellow one. But we can save that by bringing it all the way around, so it meets up with that. And then, yeah, we already decided this all has to be the same. Oh, wait, no, that has 3 of those matching. Yeah, these have to be... There we go. Okay, yeah, this doesn't actually have to go all the way around, it just has to connect everything. Whew, that was hard. So what did that do? It opened this door. But that's just a shortcut back to this area. We've already been here. This is the entrance. And yeah, we haven't actually made any progress here. We haven't solved the flower area yet. So presumably I can go back in here now. Now that I know where this door is. There we go. So when I solved that puzzle, another wire did come out of it, but I don't know where that other wire went. I think we need to go back to these bridges now, because we need to get power over to this side, I think, in order to make progress. Although... Oh, hang on. No. Okay, I thought we needed to get power to that side to make progress. But there's a problem with that. We've only got 3 bridges. This bottom bridge... Well, okay, we have 4 bridges if you include this bottom bridge, but if we detach that, then we've lost power. We haven't got a spare bridge to put here. So, how do I... How does one... How does one do this? Oh, hang on. No, wait. This is still powered. I assumed this would unpower if we detached it, but no. Okay, we can power from here now. Okay, so we can use this bridge and we can do the 4 bridges across. Okay. So we need to figure out a way of getting this bridge to here. Which I'm sure must be possible. Yeah, look, because we can join it back up to this now. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Oh, and then we need to connect this. Yes. It needs to be connected to a source of power. Like that. So that lights up this, which presumably powers something in here. We already did those. Okay, there must be a reason that you would want to power that. This doesn't appear to be a puzzle, although it may well be an environmental puzzle. Unlimited power, says Tibago. Actually, yeah, that's the point. If I detach this from here now, does it say... Okay, yeah, it stays powered. Ah, can we get power to here now? Look, there's a line coming out of there as well. So maybe that's what we need to do. Yeah, I think I can actually detach this. And we just need to do this now, which only needs 3 bridges. So hopefully that's not too difficult. We can bring this bridge over. Do that. We can do that. There we go. Okay, have we finally... Okay, yeah, see, we finally powered these. I thought these would be puzzles that you had to step on. So this is going to work the same as before in terms of how the symbols work. But the solution has to be something we can draw by walking on the puzzle. Which is actually really difficult because... Hang on. It's saying each of these can only match 1 edge. So if we step on one of these, we would not be able to step off again, because let's say I'm walking along here and I get to this one. Now I can't go anywhere, because if I go anywhere else, I'll create a second matching side to that one. So I think we need to completely avoid walking on the symbols. and like do this round them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and that powers... Okay, they're all going to power each other in sequence. I see. LT Pago says making a silly joke helped. Making a silly joke did in fact help, Tibago. Thank you for that. So this time we're forced to step on a tile at the start. This tile needs to not match any of its neighbours, so we are forced to go round it. Once again, we can't step on this one because that would cause us to have to match more than one of its edges. We need to be doing that. And then we need to leave this with only one matching edge. We also need to leave this with no matching edges. So I think it's going to look something like... this? Oh no, that still has a matching edge. Ah, but now that would have two. Ah, okay. I think we just needed to put in an extra bit here. There we go. That activates this one. Okay, we need to start in the middle. And then, well, whichever way we step, we can't step the same, we can't step on any of these other ones then, because we need to only match one edge. We need to not match anything in these edge ones. So the solution is going to look like this. In order to not, match any of these edges. And then this needs to match 3, which it does. Okay. This is just don't match any of the edges. So once again, we can't step on any of the symbols. If we step on a symbol, then that automatically means it's matched one of its edges. We have to find a path that covers every edge of every symbol without touching any of the symbols. So we just need to, we just need to fill in all the blank space basically, so that. Okay. This symbol needs to match every edge. So we have to go onto it at some point. These need to match no edges. So once again, we're trying to cover every edge of these symbols. And also this edge. So that almost works, but we didn't get this one. That one, oh, that one needs to match 2, but it's in the corner. So we just walk over it. That. Okay, and then the last one in this area, which is starting in the middle. Okay, starting in the middle but matching 2. Well, we can't go left. We've established we can't step on any that have a 1. So we go some other way. We can't go right because this one is already, like, even before I start this puzzle, this one is on. So none of these tiles can be on. We can't go left, we can't go right. We can either go up or down. Let's try going up. Can't step on this because it's a 1. So we need to arrange for only one of its neighbours to be the same colour. We need to leave this with only one matching edge. We need to make 2 matching edges here. So something like that. We need to make 3 matching edges here. That's almost right. We just didn't solve this one here, which needs to match none of its edges. So this cell and this cell need to be lit up. But how do we do that without coming through this one? I don't think it's possible. Conclusion then is we have to start by going down. And in fact, I think if I just start by going down and then trace out the path I just did in reverse, I think it will work. Oops. Yes. Okay. Phew. And we've lit the fire. Okay, I think that means we've completed this area. Let me go and have a look at the central hub in order to check that. If I can find my way back across here. Presumably now this stays... Okay, yeah, this stays powered. Even though we haven't got one of those. I'm free to just move these bridges around. Presumably this area also has an environmental puzzle. Given that the other areas so far have, and I'm wondering if it's something to do... See how underneath each of these pillars there's one of these things? And it doesn't relate to which puzzles are solved or not. Like, these 4 are on, and these 2 are on, and then these ones and that one is off. I'm wondering if that's somehow a puzzle. And there's also this. And I think that almost matches up with these. Actually, no, it does match up. Yeah, it does match up with the pattern on here. So, I don't know. That must be a puzzle of some sort, but I'm not sure how. And I'm not sure if these flowers are a giant environmental puzzle as well. Not sure what size grid this would be, because they're all sort of diagonally arranged. But yeah, each of these is effectively a symbol of the type of puzzle we just had. So this one would say match one of its edges. This would say match 2 of its edges. Trying to translate this into a square grid, though, I'm not quite sure how that would work. But we can always get back this way. Yes, look. The flower light is on. Progress. So I think probably the next area we might go to is here. I did see, this is like a tree, I think, and I did see an area with some trees. So that's probably what that is. Yes, Harry, area has been solved. Now, how did I get to that tree area? I think I took a shortcut out the back of this area, but I'm sure you can get to it directly. What's up here? Okay, well, we can't go in there yet. Yeah, it was this area. So there is a back way out of these stairs. It was this puzzle. This is definitely reminding me of a specific witness puzzle. The ones where there were trees that had a fruit on one of their branches, and there was the physical tree, and then there was a puzzle with like an abstract tree drawn on it, and you had to draw the path up the tree to get to the fruit. This looks very much like it's split into 2, and then each one split into 2, and then each one split into 2. And then we've got a tree here that's also a binary. The technical term, the computer science term would be binary tree. A tree where each branch branches into 2. However, there's no fruit. I think that on the witness they also had one with broken branches. I don't see any broken branches either. So what I don't know is which of the branches are they asking us to pay interest in? Or or even like that's another thing. So with the witness, the solution was always the tip of a branch. The witness puzzles, there was a place where you started, and then when there were possible finish points. So it had to be one of the top ones that you finished at. But with one of these puzzles, I could just select the bottom of the tree and not the top. So, I mean, it's not the bottom of the tree. Not the middle of the tree. Let's try the top, I guess. Like, I feel like I just have to brute force it until I find the rule. Okay, the answer is not any one single cell, so that's interesting. It's some combination of cells. I suppose it could be drawing the path up the tree. Like if it wants us to pick this branch for whatever reason, it could be we have to draw the whole path up the tree. Let's try that for each path. Since this is the first puzzle with the new rule, I don't really have anything else to go on. Okay, it's not that. Well, what else could it want us to look at? All 8 branches are there. They all have leaves on them. They're all different sizes and shapes. Any other clues around this area? This looks like it used to be a tree once. Maybe that was a tutorial puzzle. This is also a tree. Doesn't have a puzzle attached to it though. This this looks like a simpler puzzle than that one, but it's not powered on yet. I suspect none of this is powered on until I solve that first one. I can see lots of different shaped trees with puzzles that I can't attempt yet. There's this tree. Anything special about this tree? It's not pink like the others. Could just be a tree. There's also this garden. I can't get into this garden yet. I think... Yeah, I see how to get down to the garden. Well, no, sorry. I see the power goes down to the garden, so when I solve the things that are up there, I'll be able to solve the things that are in there. But the power to actually open the garden is here. So... Are there more tree puzzles in this direction? Maybe. Okay, the answer is yes, there are more tree puzzles in this direction. But to open the gate down there, I need to go in there first. Wait, yeah, these are trees, but they don't look anything like any of the other trees. They're not binary trees. All the branches are coming off the same trunk. All the witness trees were binary trees. This is just a 7-branched tree. This is looks more like a candlestick than a tree. Okay, and the solution is just one of the 7 cells, or more than one of the 7 cells. This seems like it's not the same type of puzzle as the first tree I found. This seems like a different type of puzzle, because it's a different shape. So it could be a different rule, but maybe the rules have something to do with each other. Okay, what do we want to try here? Let's try highlighting just the tall ones, because some of them are tall and some of them are short. Okay. Maybe this is just the tall ones then? Yes. I think that's a good start, because I think the solution to this puzzle is going to tell me, do they mean tall as in which one is highest, or which one is longest? Because, like, this one and this one are the same length, but this one is longer. So if we're assuming these 6 cells mean these 6 branches left to right. Yeah, like this branch is longer than this branch, even though, like if I was going to pick the top 3 branches, it would be these, but I have a sneaky feeling it wants me to pick the longest 3 branches, which is that one, and that one. Yeah, okay. So is that first puzzle going to be the longest branches as well then? Let me solve this area first now that I'm here. So if it wants to... no, hang on then. These 2 are the same size and these 2 are the same size. So we couldn't just pick the 3 longest. It would have to be the 4 longest. Is it that? Yeah, okay. I guess it's just the longest and then all the ones of that length or something. Oh, so that lets us into that little area, doesn't it? Okay, I think maybe I started this area at the wrong end. Maybe that puzzle was not supposed to be the first one I did. Because now I can come in here as well. Okay, yeah, sorry, I think I solved that area back to front. So... now we get to... Yeah, now we get to binary trees. And we get to see... because that's longer and that's longer. But now we have this added complexity of there's a layer underneath. I mean, this right-hand branch is above that one. So did we choose that? Because that one's taller? Okay, that might work. Oh god, we got 3 levels now. Well, these ones are longer than these ones. Well, what have we got 2 tiers to this section then? The top tier must refer to the leaves, surely. So this one has more leaves than that one, and this one has more leaves than that one. Oh, but that... hang on. I think it's about the length of the branches and the leaves. Look, that branch is longer than that branch, and that branch is longer than that branch. Even though the leaves... So, is it that? And then this branch is longer than this branch. Did that? Oh, sorry, no, that. Okay, yeah. So for the top row, you look at the leaves. And for the bottom rows, you look at the trunks. Not this trunk, because everything shares, but as soon as it splits, you look at which one's longer. Oh. Yeah, my mistake. I started this area at the wrong end. Now that I know that, I think I can apply that to the tree that was out here. So this is obviously where you're supposed to come last. Sorry. Excuse me. But they've made it harder by making it look like a real tree. The trunk is here. This branch is longer than this branch, so that would be the left side. Of these 2 branches, the right one is longer. And then... See, it's kind of impossible to tell for leaves. Because the leaves are just everywhere. I suppose, there is another... Maybe for this one we ignore leaves and just look at trunks. Branches, rather. Not this is the trunk. We just look at branches, because it does branch again. And that one, the left branch is longer, and that one, the right branch is longer. So I think it's that. And then on this side, this is off, because this is shorter. The right branch is longer. The left branch is longer. The right branch is longer. So it's that. Okay, so we just ignore the leaves completely. Wow, okay. Oh, that didn't even unlock anything. That was just a bonus puzzle just to annoy me because I saw it first when I came to this area. This is the actual sequence of puzzles I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, well, we've done the difficult bonus puzzle, apparently. Right, that side's longer. Then left is longer. Then what? These look the same to me. Suppose we just try both. Oh, okay, no, the left one was not. I suppose, yeah, I'm an idiot. I thought that was path showing through the tree, but it's not. It's part of the branch. I feel like making the path and the branch the same colour might have been a mistake. I thought there was a gap in the leaves here. Okay, another tree. Oh, vertical. Oh, because this side has more branches than this side. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, this gets much more complicated than anything the Witness did. The Witness, it was always just binary trees. So this one, the right-hand branch is longer. And then on the right-hand branch, the left-hand branch is... Again, this looks a bit like it's just the background showing through, but it isn't. If we take the left branch, the right branch is longer. Then the left branch is longer. Then the left branch is longer again. Yeah, I'm getting the hang of these now. Okay, I'm getting the hang of these now when there's only one puzzle left. Interesting. This one doesn't even have any leaves on. But it does have triple branches to make things more difficult. Okay, so out of this triple branch, the right-hand branch is longer. Then the right-hand branch is longer again. But that doesn't branch again, and this does. So then the right-hand branch is longer. If we go left, the left branch is longer. If we go up, the right one is longer. Then the right one is longer again. Then the left one is longer. Oh. Well, that area was quicker than the others once I figured it out, assuming that that's all there was. Let me head back to the hub and confirm that that's solved. Didn't see a meta puzzle in this area. Like I can see other trees that could feasibly be meta puzzles, but where would I input the solution? Oh well. Once we've solved more of the standard puzzles, we might have to do a bit more searching around the map for clues. Maybe not every area has an environmental puzzle. I think this area can't possibly have one because it's only those two mazes. And we solved the two mazes. Yes, trees are solved. Okay, so of the remaining areas, this is the dice faces numbers area, which I've solved most of. I just can't figure out how to get the last puzzle to unlock. This is the gallery with the paintings in it, which seem to depend on all the other clue types, so it makes sense to go there last. This area, I know where that is, I just didn't figure out the puzzle, the solution yet to that puzzle type. But there's this 1010 thing. I don't think I've even seen a clue that looks like that yet, so I think what we need to do next is find where that is. I noticed that this button actually activates now. Oh, and it reveals... is this like a final boss puzzle or something? I kind of would have expected it to need everything unlocked. Oh no, I see. This is divided into segments. I think each of these segments was lighting up when I solved an area. So this only needed 5 areas, and we've got 5 areas. But maybe there's something else that needs all of them. But regardless, I think I might save that to the end. Not least because it's using the line clue type that I don't understand yet. Let me go and see if I can find this. Assuming this is working clockwise around the island like I think it is. This should be somewhere between the dice faces and the trees. It should be up here. And then this is the intro to Dice Faces, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not that way. Here. The entrance. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, yeah, okay. This is the I guess the last main area then. 10011. Really thinking about it, I didn't find a fast travel thing for the tree area. Does it not have one, or am I just blind? I've been finding most of them. I don't see one. Oh, there, there it is. It's hiding behind. Somehow I didn't see it. It's hiding behind that tree. Oh, these are stairs. Okay, somehow I thought this was a wall. These are stairs. Oh, but that is actually a wall. How do I get to that fast travel thing then? Those are walls. This is a wall. That's a wall. How do I... Can I go all the way around here, maybe? Okay, I can go behind here. So this is this symbol, which I suppose looks a bit like a branching tree. Then I need to actually go somewhere in order for the symbol to show up on the screen as well, so let's do that. And then let's go back. So down here is the lines, we know that, and I guess up here is the 1001s. That might be the last two last travel stations that we need. But yeah, we need to go this way now. Figure out what on earth this is trying to tell us. Zero one zero one one zero zero one zero zero 1011. So if you read it horizontally, you've got two 7-bit numbers. Or if you read it vertically, you've got 7 pairs of digits. And I think it's going to be something to do with comparing the pairs of digits, because there's going to be 7 here. The boring answer is it's just binary addition. In which case the answer would be that. Okay, it's not. I'm glad it's not just arithmetic in binary. So is it on if the number is different and off if it's the same, maybe? Which would be that. No. Is it on if it's the same and off if it's different? No. Is it on if there's at least one 1? Is it on if there's at least one 0? Is it only on if they're both 1? Is it only on if they're both 0? Is it on if it's a 1 0 but not if it's a 0 1? Or if it's a 0 1 but not if it's a 1 0? No. Okay, so it's something more complicated than just comparing each pair of digits one pair at a time. Any other clues here? Okay, well, we need to solve that puzzle before we can go in here. We do have this big stack of pillars. Some of these pillars are on and some are off. So what's the pattern on these pillars? Okay, I think I see the pattern on these pillars. The pillars are white if there's an odd number of ones or zeros, and off if there's an even number. So this is 0, 0, 0. This is 4 zeros, no ones. That's off. This is 2 of each. These are 2 of each. This is 1, 1, 3 zeros. This is 3 ones, 1 0. So this is just odds and evens. But this is giving you 4 numbers at a time. This is only giving me 2 numbers at a time. And I already tried, if we go with the logic on this, if it's an odd number of ones, then it's on. We already tried that. That was one of the first things we tried, and it's not that. So whatever the rule is for this is different than the rule I've discovered here, which seems weird. I feel like each of these areas should have one rule. Am I skipping ahead and trying to solve a late game puzzle first? Is there a more elementary explanation up here? Ooh. Climbing the mountain in the snow. Hello Flisklet, welcome in. Thank you so much for the lurk. We're playing Taiji today. We've done really well on a couple of areas, but we're not really so sure about this one. This is a callback to an earlier section. It's one of these. Now, what was the rule for these again?
Mini Metro, not today but one of my favorite PC puzzle games.
Alhuno, thank you so much for your game suggestion of Mini Metro. So I am familiar with Mini Metro. It's one of, I guess, 2 games in a series, Mini Metro and Mini Motorways. They both involve building a transportation network, and you're not against the clock, but it's like people are trying to travel somewhere, and if they have to wait for too long, then you lose. So it is a timed thing. And in Mini Metro, you're building a subway system, and in Mini Motorways, you're building a road network. So we could potentially tackle both of those games. Maybe we'll do Mini Metro first and see how we feel. El Tibago says we'll be playing that in about 6 months, conservative estimate. No, Tibago, we won't. I realise some of my requests have been delayed before, but that's because we had a backlog of other requests, or we had a long series. Right now, we don't have any other requests apart from Tibago requesting an early access game, which I'm waiting to come out of early access. We already did Cocoon, which was our previous request. So, yeah, Alhuno, we can do that as soon as there's another slot free. And none of the games we're playing at the moment are going to take particularly long, I think. We will be done with this one probably in a few more streams, unless I get really stuck. And Human Resources Machine, that is a 2-game series I'm doing on Saturdays now, but that's still only going to be like 4 or 5 streams. So I can't guarantee I'll fit you in before Christmas, Alhuno, but certainly next month, if not, we can do Mini Metro. And if it goes well, we can perhaps do Mini Motorways as well. Thank you so much for your suggestion. Right, yeah. What was the rule about these? Was it the... Wait, no. Every time we've had a puzzle like this before, there's been 2 pillars. And it's been about fitting the pillars into each other. We've only got 1 pillar. So how does that work? Yeah, I'm not sure I quite get how those work with only 1 pillar. Also, what is this? Oh, that's a diamond puzzle. Wait, why is there a diamond puzzle here? Okay, for some reason the puzzle to get us back into this area is a diamond puzzle. Well, we can probably do that then at least. So 4 green diamonds. They need to connect to each other. They need to. And then 2 yellow diamonds. That doesn't work. I'd like to do that, but these 2, it doesn't count as connected if it's just diagonal. So how would we modify that? Do not fail. That. No, because those are connected. Actually, how is this? Don't tell me there's another rule about diamonds that I don't know yet. How would that work? Oh, like that. Yeah, okay. There is not another rule I don't know about diamonds yet. All that does is get us back into this area. But yeah, every time I've solved a pillar puzzle before, it's been with a pair of pillars, hasn't it? Even this one, the one that pairs with that one, is right on the other side. Yeah, these were all pairs. And then the solution was just which sides of the pillar had sticky out bits were in white, and then we had to sort of extrapolate from incomplete information on the basis that the pillars were designed to fit together. And we got increasingly incomplete information. Oh, actually, yeah, no, this final one was actually just from a single pillar. But it was visualizing, it was imagining that it was 2 pillars and there was a dividing line down the middle. And then treating this side as a pillar and this side as a pillar. The problem with that is that doesn't really apply to the puzzle I just found, because the pillar is only 1 tile wide, so I can't visualize it cut in half, because you can't cut it in half. Doesn't make any sense. So what am I doing here? That. Yeah, well, if the pillar was cut in half, then what would that actually mean in terms of solution? Actually, yeah, if it was cut, the thing is, if it was cut in half, then the left half and the right half would have to be different, like on or off. So I can't just cut it in half, because then what do I put in this cell if the left half of the cell is supposed to be different to the right half? So, it's not just everything that has that's on both sides. It's not just everything where it matches. Oh, what? I'm sure we tried that. Okay, it was just everything where it matches the other sides. Okay, so it is the same rule as down there, except it doesn't make a lot of sense to have just one pillar in the rule. Why put this here? Is this somehow... I'm just wondering if this is somehow meant to relate to the ones and zeros puzzles. Like, if you imagine a sticky out bit to be a 1 and a not sticky out bit to be a 0. But the rule I followed here was just if the two sides are different, then it's on. And we already established that's not the rule for the ones and zeros. Hello, Zando Toaster. Good to see you. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a snowdrop. This is a seasonally appropriate flower. It's not quite out yet, but give it another 6 weeks or so, and that will definitely be out. Zando says, good luck with the puzzles. Thank you, Zando. I will do my best. Right now, I am struggling a bit, but we've made good progress today. We have completed 2 more areas of the Taiji world. And, here's another fast travel point. Rather precariously placed one. It's to look like a 0. Yeah, each of these 3x3 symbols has to sort of represent the area it's in. I think they've done quite a good job of making a 3x3 symbol represent each area. So I have to teleport somewhere and then come back to have the symbol show up. I think the only area now is the line area. I suspect the symbol for line area is going to be that. Can I teleport to an area I haven't been to yet? Okay, either that's not the symbol or I can't teleport there. It was worth a try. What's up here? Okay. Right, I think this is the starting point for the ones and zeros puzzles. These look a lot simpler. What's with these gravestones? I was wondering if I could go up to the gravestones, but I don't think I can actually go along here. I can't go over here, actually. There's a bridge. Oh, no, hang on. Is this just where I came up from? Yeah, that's the area with the 4... the pillars with the 4 numbers on them. I get confused because there's not a path drawn here, but maybe there is a path, it's just covered in snow. So, looking at this to me implies that the solution is on if it's a 1-0 or a 0-1, and off if it's a 0-0 or 1-1. I.e. on if they're different, or I guess exclusive or if you're going to be a programmer. But that was one of the first things I tried on that big solution, on the big puzzle at the bottom. So if it's that, that's weird, because why wasn't it that on the other book? El Tibago, thank you for redeeming drink water and stretch. Oh, I can go up to these gravestones. Oh, the gravestones have, like, some of them have this star that looks a bit like a 0. Some of them have this 0 and some have a 1. Yeah, even the gravestones are going like 11001100. Oh, I bet this is an environmental puzzle. I bet these gravestones are an environmental puzzle. Okay. Well, let's take a break and then we shall resume with Taiji in just a second. Anybody not familiar with my streams? When I'm not playing video games on the internet, I am a botanist in real life. And I like to celebrate that with my viewers. For 1,000 channel points, you can choose any British wildflower, and I'll talk about it for a few minutes. This usually gets done in the middle of the stream. It only takes like 5 to 10 minutes as a break from the gaming. Tibago also requested drink water. And also stretch. El Tibago asks, has Emma had to forget the location of this plant? So the plant in question is starved wood sedge. I am not familiar with that plant. So no, I haven't had to forget the location of it. In fact, I don't know the location of it. I'm going to assume from your question that it's a rare one. So we will look up where in the UK and Ireland it can be found. But we will only be able to get an average, an approximate answer to that question. Because we're not trusted to know the real answer if it is indeed rare. Rare and in a cheese location. So is it in cheddar or is it? There are quite a few cheese locations in Britain, Tobago, like Cheshire or Lancaster, Lancashire rather, or Gloucester, like. Or Leicester, for that matter. Yeah, there's lots of places that are also cheeses. I know cheddar is just the most famous of them. Oh, it is cheddar. Okay, that's interesting. Then I'm surprised I haven't heard of it. Because there are a lot of interesting things in Cheddar Gorge. It's like a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Because of its botanical diversity. I know about the white beams, and I know about cheddar pink, and I know about a few other limestone plants that are rare. But wood sedge implies wood. So maybe it's not actually in cheddar. Maybe it's in cheddar wood, which isn't in the gorge, it's to one side. I've not been in cheddar wood, and the reason I haven't been in is it's not open to the public. It's a nature reserve that's a site of special scientific interest, and the public aren't allowed in. Emma's not allowed in. Okay, this will be a good opportunity to read up on it then. Thank you for choosing. Tibago's been putting a lot of thought into these plant choices. Let me get the books quickly. Now, if it's rare, there's often not much to choose from in terms of photos, but we'll see what we can do. I'm also intrigued as to why it's called starved wood sedge. It just looked like it's malnourished. Okay, looks like it's more common in Ireland, so there are photos of it. Although even then, a lot of these look like they're in botanical gardens, or even just people's gardens. Don't see, these photos don't look like they were taken in the wild. Oh, that one might be. The thing is, if it's a botanical garden one, it's probably a lot bigger and healthier than the typical wild plant. Okay, this is the plant I found. So with sedges, there's a saying: sedges have edges. The difference between a grass and a sedge, because they look very much the same. They're just bundles of spindly green leaves. If you feel a sedge leaf, you kind of immediately know the difference. If it feels like you could get a paper cut on the edge of it, it's probably a sedge rather than a grass. If it's soft on the edge, it's a grass. I'm not sure how well that definition stands up to botanical scrutiny, but certainly for the common grasses and sedges. Good rule of thumb. Eltibago says, from what I'm reading, it's only in 2 secret locations in Surrey and Somerset in mainland UK. Okay, that is very rare then. Let's see if it's in the book. Let's see what the book has to say. Yes, this is probably not from one of the... yes, Wikipedia has a close-up of the flower. That is a good picture, you're right, Tibago. Okay, here we are. Let's look at both these pictures. If my face cam is in the way. There we go. Carex depauperata. Is that Latin for starved? It feels like it could be. Okay, it is. Yeah, some of the more well-known rare natives do tend to be in the book because they've had a lot of potential. Maybe it's one of those. I know Tibago's trying to find things that aren't in my book to annoy me. At least sometimes. Okay, starved wood sedge. A perennial sedge of dry, base-rich, fine, free-draining soils. At its 2 extant native sites in England, it grows in semi-shade on lane-side banks at the edge of deciduous woodland. In Ireland, it grows in a partially shaded, wooded limestone area. It cannot tolerate deep shade, but responds well to coppicing and periodic disturbance. The destruction of woodland and cessation of woodland management are probably the main reason for the decline of this species in Britain, although it has always been rare. It is now known at 5 sites in our area. At one of those, in Breconshire, it is considered to be an escape from cultivation. And near Cranbourne in Dorset, it has been planted as part of a species recovery programme in an area where it occurred historically. One English site has also been augmented with reintroductions. The species has been added to Scottish flora recently as a result of the discovery and determination of old herbarium specimens. Okay. So yes, within Britain and Ireland, the book is showing me just 3 native sites. One in Surrey, one in Somerset, and one in southern Ireland. Not sure which county that is, but near the south coast of Ireland. And it's showing 2 additional introduced sites in Dorset and Buckinghamshire. And yeah, the book certainly gives the impression that there was historically a much wider distribution that has declined almost to the point of extinction through habitat loss. There are not many other records. There's one pre-1930s record in Scotland and 3 others in England. So those are sites that it was at relatively recently, but it certainly sounds like this is a decline that's been going on for centuries, because in many cases coppicing would have stopped centuries ago. So yeah, rare plant, very fussy about its habitat. It sounds like it requires limestone and partial shade, but not full shade, and that's just not something you get consistently with modern forestry practices and the general lack of ancient woodlands. The few areas of ancient woodland that remain are usually preserved as woodland, not interfered with, so they remain full shade. And the coppicing was the practice of allowing a tree like hazel to grow and then cutting the branches off near the base of the trunk, but in such a way as to not kill the tree, and then it would regenerate the branches of the trunk, and it would grow faster that way than if you planted a new tree from scratch. It was a good source of wood. And you can still see old trees, especially hazel, that were coppiced throughout the UK. If you come across a old, mature-looking hazel tree with loads and loads of branches coming out the bottom of it, it was almost certainly coppiced at some point in its life. But yeah, that's generally not done anymore. That's not where we get wood from. We get wood from timber plantations, which aren't even native species of tree. It must be able to tolerate some habitat other than human intervention coppicing, otherwise it wouldn't have been here natively in the first place. But it does sound like it's very fussy, requiring particular limestone-based soil, deciduous woodland, semi-shade, free-draining soil, and yeah, it's quite a fussy combination. So it was likely never really that widespread. But the fact that it was native in Scotland means, you know, a plant is unlikely to set seed in Scotland from plants in southern England. So it would have to have been occurring in a range throughout northern England as well at some point in its lifetime. Altibago says Latin translation is a lack of impoverishment. I think you have that backwards, Tibago. That seems like the Latin name means the opposite of the common name. So, don't know how much information I'm going to get. From the distribution map. It's going to tell me what we just told you, I think. Yeah, that it's here and here, and also here. This is the introduction in Dorset near Cranbourne. This is the native site in Surrey, and this is the native site in Somerset. That's the record Escape in the Brecon Beacons. That's the Southern Ireland one. And was a historic record in Scotland as well. Why can I not see that one? Oh, there it is. Yes, that's a very old record. And there were a couple of other very old records. Apparently, supposedly at some point it was in... I mean, I suppose you've got to remember that at the time this wasn't really part of London. Most of these suburbs weren't here. Yeah, in 1787, this was not part of London. London was about that big. So that makes sense. But yeah, interestingly, this one is not redacted in the same way that some of the orchids are and some of the other plants we've seen are. It's allowing me to view the records in full resolution. As I suspected, it's interesting that I guessed that without knowing. They are in cheddar wood. I suppose thinking about it, that's where they would be, but really the only suitable habitat. So they're not in the gorge, because the gorge wouldn't have a suitable habitat. This is Cheddar Gorge just here. Let me bring up... I assume I'm allowed to show Ordnance Survey maps on stream. I mean, they are Crown copyright, but... So, Cheddar Wood is here. Would have been much bigger historically before somebody unfortunately put a holiday park in here. But this part of it is now a nature reserve. You kind of correlate this map with this map, you can see that those are all within the area of the nature reserve. The big blue bird means nature reserve. Even if it's not a bird reserve, whatever sort of nature it's a reserve for, even if it's plants, you get the symbol of the blue bird. El Tobago says Londinium. No, I'm not quite talking about long ago enough for it to be called Londinium. Although, yeah, in Roman times, this is the thing. People imagine the Romans wandering around the British countryside, building roads, subjugating the natives, and they imagine it looking much like it does today, only without as many houses in it. But it was almost all forest, and the plants would have been, there would have been plants everywhere in Roman times that are completely extinct in Britain now. It would have been a very different place. But no, it at least survived long enough. This is the thing, so many things would have gone extinct as a result of human activity before botany was a science, like in medieval times or whatever. This plant, fortunately enough, survived long enough for botany to be invented so that people could realise they needed to try and preserve it. But only just. It got very close to being extinct altogether, I think. El Tibago, you're saying the Romans didn't build the Shard. Tibago, even I can remember before the Shard was built, and that wasn't that long ago. So yes, I am indeed saying the Romans didn't build the Shard. So yeah, another interesting plant to add to cheddar, just in case there's any Americans watching who didn't realise that cheddar was a place and not just a cheese. It is, and it has plants there. And one of them is really rare and looks like this. There are quite a lot of sedges that look like this, have these quite thin, spindly leaves. So if you see one, don't get all excited, because it's probably not this one. But thank you, Tibago, for that request. I'm going longer and longer with these botany redeems, aren't I? I need to. We need to set a time. I need to have a bell that rings when I'm 15 minutes are up or something. I end up rambling. But thank you. Just quickly put the books back. And then I think we've got a pretty good idea today of... pretty good idea now of what the rule is for these. Because we have this thing that tells us what the rule is. And I think it's just like this. Yeah, okay. So that bonus puzzle at the entrance must have a different rule, because it's not just if it's 0, 1 or 1, 0 it's on, because yeah, that's the rule here, sure, but so that and that. Okay. Yeah. See, they're going to introduce ways of obfuscating the numbers. Here they've positioned like the 0 is halfway between the 1 and the 0, but you can see if you lined up the columns, they'd all be different. So yeah, it's going to be that. Here they've drawn. Yeah, here they've really obfuscated it by smushing the numbers together. But we would have 1, 0, then we'd have 1, 1, then we'd have 0, 0, then we'd have 1, 1, then we'd have 1, 0, then we'd have 0, 1. Okay. So it's a bit like the pillar puzzles. They're obfuscating the solutions. LT Bago says, also some extra information for the Americans. The town of Cheddar is entirely made of cheese, and locals can pick off pieces of buildings as a snack. Sure. Let's. They can believe that. Believe that if they want to. Ferrin says, "Hello, Emma. Thanks for teaching me that sedges have edges." Hello, Ferrin, and thank you for paying attention in the botany segment. Whenever I look back at my after my streams, when I look back at my viewing figures, it always like takes a dive during the botany segment, because people are like, "This isn't a video game. I'm gonna go and watch someone else." But I'm gonna keep doing it because I know that there are some people out there who appreciate it, and I'm glad that you're one of them. Harry, please don't eat my house. It's not made of cheese. Okay. That's going to be a 0, 1, a 0, 1, a 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, they filled in the zeros now, so I think that means 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Wait, what? This is just one line. Okay, I'm not sure what to make of this, because if this is a completely overlapped set of 1s and 0s, then I suppose if it's a completely overlapped set of 1s and 0s, the 0 would have a hole if it was overlapped by another 0, but it doesn't. So these must all be 1 0s. Okay. And then, oh, some sort of building. Oh, the building has a thing on it. And this is going to be overlapped 1s and 0s again. Yeah, so if it's 2 0s overlapping, the result just looks like a 0. And if it's 2 1s overlapping, the result looks like a 1. But if it's a 1 and a 0, you get a square, so it's that. This is actually easier because you just put squares where there are squares. It's like easier than the original puzzle. What is in here? Oh, the answer is more puzzles. LT Bago asks Harry, can you confirm or deny that Emma's house is in fact made of cheese? See, this is the thing. Harry has been here. Harry has visited me and knows that my house is not made of cheese. He did eat some cheese while we were here because we had a pizza on the Friday night and that had cheese on it, but it wasn't made of my house. The rest of my house is not made of cheese. I don't even live in Cheddar. Cheddar isn't even particularly near me. Harry knows how far Cheddar is from me because we drove there and it took like half an hour to get there. It's roughly the same distance as Bath, and my house isn't made of baths either. It's roughly the same distance as Wells, and my house isn't made of Wells. And Shepton Mallet, and my house isn't made of sheep and wooden hammers. Need I go on? Honestly, what do you like? Okay, what do we have here? We have... Oh, I can't stand on that one. Oh, this is the first one. Oh, this is interesting because they've put the two side by side. I mean, I guess I can just visualize that they're on top of each other. So we'd have 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Yeah, okay. And actually that would be the same, just the other way around. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. Wait, what? What? Now you're going to change the rule on me? What is this? Yeah, so if you imagine these two numbers stacked one above the other, then the two zeros would definitely both be zeros. These cells would be zeros. And these cells would have a 0 and a 1, which to me means it's different. Okay, what's special about this one? How is this any different than this? It's literally the same numbers swapped around. Is everything else... Okay, everything else is dependent on solving that one, so we need to solve that one. Backwards, right? Oh. Okay, just put the solution in backwards and it worked. I don't know why it worked, though. Why is this one backwards and this one isn't backwards? Unless... Oh, is the rule that if you've got two numbers next to each other, then the left-hand one is read backwards? Because obviously reversing the zeros would still give you zeros. So this doesn't matter if it's backwards or not, but this does. And then here, this one is backwards. And that would explain whether that's the rule or not. That would explain it. But then here we're back to one above the other. And they're all different. Oh, no. Is the top one backwards now? Actually, if the top one is backwards now, they're all the same. Yeah, they're all the same. Okay, but why are we suddenly reading one line backwards and the other line not? Because we weren't doing that before. Okay, so if this is them being smushed together again. If it was normal, it would be that. But if we're turning the top row backwards, then we would go 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Ah, okay. It is in fact not the top row backwards on this one. Nor is it both rows forwards. Is it the bottom row backwards? 1, 1, 0, 0, 1... No, 1, 0... 1, 0... 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay, either there's a deeper rule I'm missing, or this one is the bottom row backwards. Why is that the bottom row backwards and this is the top row backwards? Why would that be a thing? This only has one row. But I am starting to think I see what the gimmick is, because we've just been reading things backwards. So let us suppose that we read the same thing forwards and backwards. What would that give us, I wonder? That perhaps be the answer. So yeah, if we read it both ways at once, then that would be 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0. And this? I mean, we could still read it backwards from both ends. We'd just have to stop before we got to the other end. In which case it would be 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0. No, 1. I'm holding my hand up to the screen if you can't see. 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0. Okay. We're not done. It's just opened another door. Oh, right. Okay. One more puzzle to solve. And it's a smushed together one. Okay. So what are we reading this backwards, forwards, sideways, upside down, left to right? What are we doing? If it was another just overlapped puzzle, it would just be that, but it's obviously not going to be that. Baron says the pips are offset in the steel in the south of this trio of puzzles. Does the location of the pips encode anything about the orientation of the data? Interesting suggestion, Baron. I'm going to try and figure this one out on my own, if that's okay. But interesting suggestion. Not quite sure what you mean by pips, anyway. Right. So yeah, this is obviously made up of two strings of numbers overlapped with each other. So going by what we've just been doing, we would want to reverse one of those strings of numbers. We don't know which one we want to reverse though, because they're both overlapping. I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? I'm going to need a pen and paper for this. We did break out the pen and paper last time when we were trying to solve one of the environmental puzzles unsuccessfully. But yeah, I think I'm going to need to write out what the two strings are when they're not overlapped. One of them is going to be 0 1 0 0 1 0 1, and one's going to be 0 1 0 1 1 1 1. And I guess, yeah, if it doesn't matter which one we flip round, we'll get the same sequence. It's just we might get the sequence the wrong way round. So if I just flip one of them round, so I'll flip this one round to give 1 1 1 1 0 1 0. And then I'll check which digits are different. So that gives me 1 0 1 1 1 1. And then so it's either going to be that or it's going to be that backwards. So it's either going to be that. Okay. And if that didn't work, I was going to try. Okay. That's interesting. So the answer to my question is it doesn't matter which one you flip. The game accepts both as valid solutions. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. I was thinking, how do I know which way to flip it? But the answer is either way is okay. So I think I have the rule for this figured out. I don't quite know why it suddenly switched to being backwards. Ferrin says, I have no insights. That wasn't meant to be a hint. I just was wondering if you had encountered anything in the game assigning significance to a particular visual detail. I mean, that sort of depends what you mean by assigning significance to a visual detail. In a sense, that is the entire game. I am wondering now if the secret to that puzzle at the bottom was just as simple as doing the top row backwards. So I'm gonna go and try that. You're welcome to say anything you want, Vern, but I don't tend to like spoilers for things if it's a puzzle game and I haven't solved it myself yet. So yeah, I'm going to take this and just flip the top row back to front because that seems to be what we've been doing. So 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0. No. Okay, does the reverse work now? Yes. Okay, that's interesting. This one then is different to hang on, did I reverse that correctly? Yeah, this one is different to the one we just did in that it's fussy about which one you reversed. It wants the bottom one reversed. So it's actually 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1. Yeah. So it's specifically the bottom one that has to be reversed. Interesting. Yeah, then we've got this, which is basically saying if you are given 4 digits, then pick the ones that have an odd number of ones or zeros. But then we have some puzzles where we're given 3 digits at a time. Which we've been told what to do when you've got 2 digits at a time, but not what to do when you've got 3 digits at a time. So I don't know what you do when you've got 3 digits. I suppose if the answer is for 2 digits, you find the ones where there's just 1. And for 4 digits, you find the answer where there's 1 or 3. Then you could plausibly say that 3 digits you find where there's either 1 or 3 digits the same. Or you could say 3 digits you find one where there's 2 the same. And I think that would also be a valid deduction to make from the rules we know about. Now, if it's just ones where there's 1 or 3 the same, it would be those. If it's just ones where there's 2 the same, or actually it would be 0 or 2 the same, so it would be those. Okay, and it's neither of those things. I suspect it's something to do with flipping things backwards again. But now there's 3 rows. How do I know which one to flip backwards when there's 3 rows? I'm clearly missing something about this flipping things backwards. Let me go back and look at the puzzles we did before. Well, these ones were all... None of these were backwards, were they? These were all just... These all worked how I thought, apart from the smushing the numbers together. And so did that one. It was once we got in here... These two... You read the left-hand number backwards, so it was like... I suppose it's like you're reading outwards from the middle of the number. Where there's like a dot. And then same with that one. Actually, I suppose those have got dots as well. Oh, is it something to do with those dots? Go and look at the outside ones again. Oh, is it just you read from where the dot is? Interesting. Yeah, because these have all got dots on the left. And these are all read left to right, because that's how you read numbers. These have also all got dots on the left. I mean, the dots get smushed together, but just on the left. This hasn't got... Oh, no, it has got a dot because it's up there. Yeah, that's got a dot on the left. These have... Right, and then these have dots in the middle, and then you read out from the middle. And then this is the first one that actually has this as an actual thing. Which is why it was so confusing. So you'd have no reason to think that the dot was meant read from here until you got to this puzzle. So this one says read the top row from the left and read the bottom row from the right, which gives you 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0. So the solution is none of them, which in fact was the solution. Hello, Matcha Catcher. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming Hitchbindweed as your flower of the day. I hope you are okay. I hope your week was okay. We are wrapping our head around some more logic puzzles in Taiji right now. Shark. Thank you, Matcha, for redeeming Blowhigh. I suppose we should go and fetch the Blowhigh. I suppose that is a thing we should do. Outfit. My outfit today is just the cozy grey dress because I was cold. It's a very plain, boring outfit, but I like it. This is a Blowhigh. He is soft and cuddly and we love him. Matcha says I forgot to do the poll. No worries, Matcha. There are still options from your previous poll that we haven't done. The winning option, I believe, was write a poem about Blowhigh. Unfortunately, I still haven't written a poem about Blowhigh. Maybe I can think of one. There once was a shark named Blowhigh who thought he was able to fly. That's as far as I've got. There once was a shark named Blowhigh who thought he was able to fly. He fell out of bed and banged his head, but at least he gave it a try. Here we go. Poem about Blowhigh. We can check that one off the list. LT Bago says outfit is still nice, single slow spin. This is not a spinny dress. I know you like your spinny dresses, but not all of my dresses are spinny, and this is not a spinny dress. It doesn't go spinny. I can go spinny, but the dress won't go spinny. And what's the point of going spinny if your dress doesn't go spinny? LG Bago says I only picked the poem because I know you don't take... Well, no, this is the thing. The poll I'm referring to has been closed for like a week. I didn't pick the poem option last week because I wanted to come up with the poem, and I didn't. Because I are an Emma, and when was Emma ever organised? It's not quite up to your standards of poetry, Matja, I must admit. Anyway, Blowhigh will accompany us on the next stage of Taiji. And I think I see what's going on. I think, yeah, so this is telling you read one number from each end. This is telling you read from both ends, which I did figure out already. And this is also, yeah, this is the only one that's ambiguous because it's telling you read from both ends, but where the numbers are overlapping, it doesn't tell you which one, which, is it the left to right number that's a 0 and the right to left number that's a 1, or is it the other way around? But it does accept both solutions, so I suppose that's okay. So now, armed with that knowledge, we might have a better understanding of what to do in this next section. Possibly. I don't remember what it looked like with 3. Matcha says, I say it can be better, but it was just on the top of your head. Well, yeah, obviously it can be better. That goes without saying. Right, okay, yeah, so this was read one of them backwards, and the way that you knew it was the bottom one to read backwards should be that you look at this dot at the bottom. So applying that to the... Oh, no, wait, hang on. Applying that to these, we have read the top row from the left, read the bottom row from the right. But it doesn't tell us what to do with the middle row. So... yeah, what do we... what do we do with the what's it what? Matcha's going to make a quote out of that now. Good luck with that one. Okay, well, let me get my pen and paper and blowhigh. This is becoming a bit of a challenge for the Emma. It's not easy being an Emma, you know. Right, I'm fairly confident we read the top row left to right. And we read the bottom row right to left. So that would be 1, 0, 0, or 1, 0, 1, 1. Got this. See, what I'm thinking is we've got one row in the middle, but the game is telling us that we should have 4. We should have 4 numbers at a time, is what this is telling us. So I'm wondering, do we take the middle row and combine it with both the top and the bottom rows? As in, do we just double up the middle row and presumably read it backwards with the bottom row and forwards with the top row, but it's actually all 0, so that doesn't matter. So if I just put 2 rows of 0s in the middle of that, let me, as I say, it's such a shame that Twitch discontinued Twitch Studio because it had the thing where you could draw on the screen. And I have not found... I found other tools that sort of let you do the same thing, but they've really not been comparable. I'm just going to I'm going to draw out what I'm thinking of doing. Except it's not working. You'd think I'd know how to use paint by now. Okay. So, interesting that the game captures your mouse cursor, so I can't move my mouse cursor out of the game window while it's running unless I disable full screen. So hopefully that doesn't matter. No, I still can't disable my. Can I? Oh, I can move it. Okay, I can move my cursor out of the screen if I pause. But then the game disappears. What I want to do is get the game on screen at the same time as something else, and you wouldn't think that would be difficult. Apparently it is. Here we go. So what I'm thinking of doing is this. Oh, wait, where's it gone? I just wrote out a thing and it's gone. Right, don't disappear for no reason. Numbers. Can I get those to stay there and have the game? Sort of. Okay. So the top row is the top row of the puzzle written forwards. The bottom row is the bottom row of the puzzle written backwards, and then the middle two rows are just duplicating the middle row. And then I guess you could just use this to decode it, but I know what the rule is here. It's if there's an odd number of ones. So that tells us that it should be 1 0 1 1 0 0 0. Is that the solution? Yes. Okay. I think what I was doing is right. Matcha catcher. Okay. At least you've quoted that bit and not just the bit where I was talking gibberish. Matcha says, "What's the point of going spinny if your dress doesn't go spinny?" I assure you, find any trans woman you like anywhere in the world, and she will back you up on that quote. Back me up on that quote, Matcha. Hello, Peach. Good to see you here. Peach says, "Hello. How's it going?" It is going okay, thank you. We have a bit of a storm brewing. Here, IRL here. The stream is going fine, but I did get an emergency alert on my phone just before the stream started, which confused me. So if the stream stops unexpectedly, it's because my power's gone out. But apart from that, everything's going fine. Let me do a quick shout out to Pidge, because Pidge is an amazing, amazing streamer and deserves a shout out. It plays a lot of different things, but in particular does Jackbox Party Packs sometimes. I don't always, I'm not always in the mood for playing them, but when I am, it's good to have somebody trusted that you can go and watch, like join that stream. You don't want to just browse that category because then you don't really know who you're going to be playing with. So I'm very glad I discovered Pidge. Heroin to Birds used to do Jackbox, but unfortunately she doesn't stream anymore. So I've sort of been without a source of that at that time of day for a while now. So Pidge says doing Jackbox today, in fact. So do check out Pidge if that's your sort of thing. Paige also says, that's fair, good luck, hope power stays on. It's more, I think tomorrow night the wind is worse. So tomorrow's stream might be cancelled and or shortened due to factors outside my control. Peach says, that means a lot, Gertie, thanks. No problem. I always try to shout out. I have a lot of streamers who watch me. Sometimes I feel like I have more... My audience is more other streamers lurking as a favour than it is actual viewers. But yeah, the fact that they bother to lurk at all is obviously very much appreciated. So that's not necessarily a bad situation to be in. Well, Pidge, you have actual viewers because you have people play Jackbox with you. And the games are usually full, especially once the stream gets going. We're not usually waiting for extra players or anything. It's all a grind to a certain extent, says Pidge. I'm not doing streaming to make money or to be famous or to do any of that. I'm just streaming because the two reasons. One is I like playing video games and I might as well share that with people and not just do it on my own. Especially everything I play, or most things I play not everything, most things I play tend to be single player puzzle games, so it's a bit lonely to just grind through single player puzzle games on your own. And the other thing is I wanted to get more confident with talking to people. I am very, very not confident IRL for various reasons. And the idea of streaming was I got more confidence. That's why I'm doing it. So if everybody's lurking, then that almost makes it easier. So I don't care at all. I very much appreciate it. It says, for sure, I started streaming because it looked like fun. I keep streaming because it turned out to be great for my mental health. I think it is good for that reason. Especially since I work from home, so I'm sat at home all day on my own, and no offense to my colleagues, it's not their fault, but they're not the most interesting of people. I don't have that much in common with them outside of work, and chatting to them about stupid work things or sports which I don't care about or what the weather's doing. If I stream, I can have confidence that the people joining me are sharing at least one interest with me, which is watching Twitch streamers. Probably also interested in puzzle games, possibly also queer or at least an ally. Otherwise, they wouldn't be watching a trans person stream. So yeah, this has been my best attempt to date. And I've made a lot of. I've been around a bit. I'm getting on for 25 years on the internet, and so I've made a lot of attempts to find communities I fit in. And it turns out the best option was just make your own community from scratch, and only have people join that want to be there. Tibago says, how about that sports team? They really played those games this season. Well, yeah, I guess they did. Should we actually solve a puzzle instead of sitting around chatting? I think this just works the same way as... In fact, this is literally... I've just realised this is literally the same numbers as the previous puzzle, except that it's all ones in the middle instead of all zeros. So... I'm going to do exactly what I did before. But I'm going to replace zeros with ones. So... You imagine... Oh, I can't... Yeah. I'm used to, on my work PC, I have Photoshop, and you can, like, edit numbers after you've made them and stuff. But... if you imagine... that it's all ones in here now. I think... is that actually going to even matter? Like, does this even affect the result? Because everywhere that there was 1 1 before, there's now 3 1s. Yeah, the result is literally the same because there's either 2 or 4 or 3 1s, and yeah, It's literally going to be this again. Oh, it's not going to be that again. Okay. What have I done wrong then? I've read the top row from the left. I've read the bottom row from the right. Oh, I haven't. No, I haven't read the bottom row. No, I have. Yeah, sorry. This is the bottom row. I've read the bottom row from the right, and I've translated that into ones or zeros based on these pillars here, except that I just figured out it was either 1-1 or 3-1. Oops, sorry, that's causing lag for some reason. Peach says, I do my best to be an ally, but even with all my best attempts, I screw up from time to time. No, Peach, you are on the good side of things. Yeah. To be honest, on the internet, it's relatively easy to stay away from the people who aren't supportive, because they tend to form their own social groups. The problem is in real life, where I have to interact with actual living people and face the fact that real life is not as progressive as we would like, and probably about 70% of the people I meet are transphobic or otherwise dismissive of my existence, including some of the people I have to work with. So yeah, If you weren't one of the good people, you wouldn't be here watching me. you would have refused to even watch my stream. So it's like you don't have to worry. Like, I don't give a crap if people forget my name or pronouns. It's not that. It's denying my right to existence. It's putting political pressure on my existence being made illegal and things like that. That's what I have a problem with. I don't care if you remember my name or not. Everyone makes out that that's what trans people care about. It's not. We care about being allowed to exist. Hello, Ratmost. Good to see you. Ratmost says nobody is perfect, and also here I go killing again. Ratmost, you haven't been killing anyone, have you? Not, especially not CEOs of insurance companies, I would hope. Let me give a shout out to Ratmost, best rat streamer. Possibly only rat streamer I know, but definitely best rat streamer, even if there are other rat streamers. Go follow Ratmost, collect your daily cheese. Wait, Ratmost, we were just talking about cheese. You missed our conversation about cheese. Tibago tried to convince everyone that cheddar was made of cheese. Cheddar the town, that is, not obviously cheddar the cheese is made of cheese. Then he tried to convince everyone that my house was made of cheese. I don't even live in cheddar. Why would my house be made of cheese? No, it isn't. Look, not cheese. Sorry, I've been completely missing all of the chat because I was busy ranting to myself. I hope you came here for rants and not viewer engagement, because that's what you're getting. Peach says, I mean, I could talk about the Bears if we're talking sports ball. Tibago says, I'm sorry, I'm British, no bears here. And Pidge points out that they were, in fact, in London a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't follow American sports ball, but I'm aware of its existence, and I have nothing against people who do follow it, whatever country they may live in. Ratmos says, intention counts for a lot, ability and willingness to learn counts for a lot. Yeah, just generally... Don't judge people by gender, sexuality, ethnicity, race, other such factors. But even if you do judge them by those factors, keep that judgment to yourself. And even if you don't keep it to yourself, I don't even care if people go around shouting that trans people are all pedophiles or something. It's when you start. When they start applying political pressure, when they start making serious efforts to exterminate a certain group of people, you know, like the Nazis did. It's when you get to that point that I don't like it. And unfortunately, there are places in the world where that is the stage we're at. Anyway, I'll try not to talk about it too much. Peach says, just good to know the plenty of hours that mean well, but still fall short. Yeah, that's it. You're not falling short. The bar here is very, very low. The bar is so low that you have to exert quite a lot of effort to fit under it. You have to get down on your hands and knees and edge yourself under the bar if you're so determined not to clear it. All you have to do to clear the bar is not try to get me killed. Literally all you have to do. El Tibago says, really interesting, didn't think there was large enough interest here. And in the UK as a whole, there is a reasonable following of American sports ball. I mean, not... We do have local teams, but yeah, it's obviously nowhere near as big as football. Like actual football that you play with your feet with a ball-shaped ball. But yeah, it's like in London, it's big enough that a foreign team can come to London and play a game and there's gonna be a packed crowd watching them. You know, it's big enough for that, which is good. I mean, I love the fact that sports are spreading and becoming more popular. Pitch says, yeah, the NFL does 3 to 4 games now a year in London. Ratmo said, if I had, I sure wouldn't confess to it on twitch.tuvalu. Yeah, fun fact, the .tv domain name is actually supposed to be used for websites about the island nation of Tuvalu. I wonder how much money they make from, the government of Tuvalu make from Twitch. Or at least the .tv domain in general. Like, what percentage of their GDP is that? Ratmo says, catch me up, spill the tea. Harry, my house is not... Harry, you were here. You were here, Harry. My house is not made of cheese. You know it's not made of cheese. We've been through this. I fed you some pizza. That had cheese on it. It wasn't part of my house. It was a pizza. Ratmos says, I'm here for company while I pay utilities. Sorry to hear about the bills, Ratmos. There's not much we can do about that, but we can certainly provide company. Tibago says, ooh, adulting. Tibago, you need to pay your bills as well. Otherwise they might shut off your internet. And then how would you watch my streams? Pidge says, I enjoy the sports ball on occasion, but I do follow the Bears quite a bit. Kind of my one big team, if you feel me. I completely get that. Everyone has their one main team of whatever sport it is that they're interested in. Ratmost Minds. Ratmost, please do not limbo under the extremely low bar that I've made. That's not what it's for. Tibago says, I did used to watch some Hand Egg on UK TV at 4 AM running MMO raids. Yeah, that's the thing. So you can watch the American games on from the UK. Like, we have the technology to do that, but it's not a sociable hour for us, and so that's perhaps why there's not much interest. Peach says, Hand Egg got me. Have you not heard Hand Egg? Hand Egg is like a standard British term for American football. on account of football is where you kick a ball with your feet, and hand egg is where you run with an egg in your hands. Like, it makes perfect sense. Yes, I realise sometimes they do kick the hand egg, and sometimes they do put the football in their hands, but primarily they use their feet. So I'm on board with hand egg. The only problem is if they changed it to the National Hand Egg League instead of the NFL, then it would be the NHL, and that kind of already means something else. So yeah, that might be a problem. Ratmost asks, how is hand egg played? Well, from what I've seen, you get two teams of fairly muscular guys, and you dress them in protective padding, including a helmet, shoulder pads, and so on. And then they run full speed into each other, like that. And then also at some point there's a ball. As far as I can tell, that's what happens. You get 5 points for a touchdown, unless it's a good one, and then you get an extra point. Or is it 6 points? I don't know. You get 3 points for kicking it over the things, and you get 2 points for safety, and I'm not sure what a safety is. But you get 2 points for it. Also, there's markings on the pitch with numbers on, and the numbers count yards. And they show you how near the end of the pitch you are. I feel like you probably know how near the end of the pitch you are by looking, but there's numbers on the pitch, and you try and get to the other end. But the trick is the opponents are trying to get to your end. So however hard you push them, they're going to push back. But you try and get to the other end, and if you can't get to the other end, they have to try and get to your end. And if they can't get to your end, then there's quarterbacks and stuff. There, as you can see, I am an expert in hand egg. Ratmos says, "Girl, talk about whatever you want." I'm glad you have that attitude, Ratmos, because so far today I've talked about Cheese Sedge's hand egg, trans rights, and in theory I'm playing a puzzle game. A cynic might say that I'm stalling for time because I don't know how to solve this puzzle. But El Tibago says, pick up the egg and run with it mostly. Well, no, this is the thing, Tibago, not mostly. You'd think it would be mostly picking up the egg and running with it. If you actually break down a typical hand egg game by what they're doing, it's like 2% of it is picking up the egg and running with it. 50% of it is standing around figuring out what to do next. 10% is running into each other. And the rest of it is commercials. It's something that is quite unfamiliar to soccer enjoyers, which is that in American sports, they stop the game so that they can have an ad break. They're like, this is a good point to have an ad break. Everyone on the field is just going to stand around for a bit so the broadcasters can get their ads in. We don't do that with soccer. Once you've started playing, you get on with it until half time, and then you get on with it till the end. Ferrin says, I understand that their .tv domain is their primary export. Yeah, it's funny how technology, I mean, I suppose in a way it's benefited them. It's income that they wouldn't be having if they didn't have that domain name, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. Harry also agrees it's quite a bit of income for them. Pidge says, no, that one is new to me, referring to hand egg. There is a little kicking, haha, NHL is hockey. Yeah, exactly. So NHL is National Hockey League, I assume. So you couldn't just change football to hand egg, because then an NFL would also be NHL, and that would just be confusing. You'd have two NHLs. One team would show up expecting to play hockey, and the other team would show up expecting to play football. I mean, they'd both be well padded and have a fight with each other in the middle of the field. So I guess it would kind of work out. But trying to lob one of those pucks over the football goalposts, that would be tricky. Ratmos says, no sweat, I will clear the bar easily with my 4-foot vertical leap. Do you actually have a 4-foot vertical leap, Ratmos? Because that's very impressive, especially for a rat. You know, as a rat, that's like 10 times your height. That is very impressive. El Tibago says I'm Welsh, so American football just looks like rugby in armour. That's the thing. That's what Pidge needs to understand. We have American football over here as well, except we're not sissies, so we play it without the protective gear, and we also don't charge full tilt into each other because that would be silly. There are quite a lot of differences between the rules, but yeah, they're both games about carrying around an egg-shaped ball. Rugby, we've invented this thing called passing the ball to each other, which I think they do have that in hand egg. I think they call it a lateral, but nobody ever seems to do it. It seems like they get the ball, and then once they've got the ball, they're just hell-bent on getting to the other end with it. Which, yeah, is not usually what happens in rugby. But other than that, it's sort of the same. Ratmos says, mods, is it safe to post a clip link in chat? Yes, I don't have clips. I don't have links filtered because I trust my viewers. And if anyone abuses that trust, then I will baninate them and no harm done. Oh, you've clipped the cheese house. Yeah, look, my house is not made of cheese. I don't live in cheddar. There's no reason why my house would be made of cheese. Cheddar is just a place near me. It's not even particularly near me. It's the other side of the Mendips. House might as well be made of Bath buns. Once you get chat started on something, they just won't give up, will they? Evan says inverted tug of war. And Ratmo says, perhaps keeping your forebrain occupied while the rest of your brain chews on the puzzle. Look, much as I'd like to pretend that my brain is complex enough to be puzzle solving in the background while I'm talking to you, I really am only capable of doing one thing at once. I don't know if that's a bad sign. As a trans person, like, people always say, oh, women are better at multitasking. And I'm not. But then I know women, like, I know cis women with ADHD who are also very bad at multitasking. So I don't think that stereotype is actually accurate. I think that's an unfair characterization of people. And actually everyone's bad at multitasking and just no one wants to admit it. El Tibago says hockey is also confusing to a different game here. Well, so there's hockey and then there's ice hockey, isn't there? And I think they do have hockey, like, it exists as a sport in America. It's just not big, like hockey with a ball rather than a puck on ice. I don't think we have enough ice rinks here for ice hockey to really take off as a thing. And then the two games are similar, but they're not. There's a lot less fighting in non-ice hockey. Ratmost says, oop, I gave a typo. Rats can leap about 3 feet vertical and about 4 feet horizontal and about 3 inches tall. Look, leaping 3 feet in the air when you're 3 inches tall is still extremely impressive, Ratmost. I would struggle to leap 3 feet in the air, and I'm the size that I am. So they're clever little things, rats. I don't know, seems pretty sus, says Ratmos. Debago says Emma is not beating the Cheese House allegations. This does seem to have become a thing, doesn't it? I'm going to have to leave cheese somewhere in frame on one of my streams and then just casually take a bite out of it at some point. I don't even particularly like cheddar. I don't really eat that much cheese. I don't go to cheddar much. I go to Wales quite a lot. I don't really have any connection to the place other than it being in the same county as me. And by that logic, Harry's house is made of Wensleydale because he lives in Yorkshire. So why not go and bother Harry instead? Because, Wensleydale is a horrible building material because it's really crumbly. At least cheddar has some structural integrity to it. Ratmost says, we love to carry the joke as though it were a hand egg. Yes, Ratmost, you are carrying the joke like a hand egg. And I'm the defence on the opposing team. Charging into you and making you drop the hand egg. And I'm going to take the hand egg and I'm going to kick it out of the stadium so none of us can play. Ferrin says, while we're exploring tangents, there is a part of the natural world in which I spent quite a bit of time in my youth. Despite the relative lack of apparent biodiversity, I would be curious to hear your impressions and thoughts as someone who views natural spaces from a scientific and botanical perspective. And I should say that I don't view natural spaces only from a scientific perspective. I love to look at a flower and go, ooh, it's a pretty flower. Like, I do that as well. I don't just go, oh, yes, and this is this species of plant. I admire nature for in and of itself as a beautiful thing as well. I have selected a URL link to a Google Maps Street View location, which I could share with you if you were interested in taking a look. Feel free to share. I mean, if it's your own house, maybe don't share it in chat. You're welcome to whisper it to me or DM me on Discord or whatever. If it's not in the UK, though, I might not be able to help you much in terms of what the plants are. But you're certainly welcome to share. Ratmos says, we're not, we just get trained in regards to... I'm behind with chat, aren't I? In regards to multitasking, Ratmos says, we just get trained not to complain while the boys get trained to speak their mind. Yeah, well, obviously I was raised male, whether I was or not. I don't think I was ever really trained to speak my mind, to be honest. Honestly, the first time I've really spoken my mind in my life, I think, was on these streams. I was very shy and afraid to speak to anyone about anything. But I can definitely see in general there was a trait there. Ratmos says, Emma, did you ever read the Redwall books? Young adult fantasy novels about mice and rabbits and forest creatures living in an abbey, and the author describes all these maybe unreal cheeses made with wildflowers. Yes, Ratmost, I am familiar with the Redwall books. I certainly didn't read all of them. I'm led to believe there's quite a large number, but I did read some of them. I am familiar of their tales of anthropomorphic animals. I don't know if that was part of your inspiration to be a rat VTuber, Ratmost, but if so, I'm glad that worked out. Yeah, you're quite right. Brian Jacks really leans heavily into the food descriptions in his books. I've been told that there is a reason for that, which is that he is writing the books with disabilities in mind, especially with blind people in mind. So he's describing, he's thinking of ways to describe scenes other than just what they look like. And obviously a good way of doing that is to describe the smell and taste of food in excruciating detail. And I don't know if that's true, it's just something I read on the internet once, but that's wonderful if it is true. I mean, there's all manner of food in those books, but cheeses made with wildflowers certainly. I mean, if you go back through centuries of cheese making, cheese is a wonderful thing, because anywhere that had cows or other dairy animals, which is basically the entire Western world, made some sort of cheese. But back when all food production was very, very local to just the village or town that you were in, and you didn't transport food long distances, everywhere made their own cheese slightly different. I mean, there are literally thousands of different cheeses in existence in the world. And a lot of those are really, really almost endangered, I like to say, like plants, because, in the modern world, economies of scale, your supermarket is only going to carry a few dozen brands of cheese. But yeah, traditional cheeses, I would be more surprised if there weren't cheeses made with wildflowers, because there are cheeses made with everything. There are cheeses made with fruit. There are cheeses made with bacteria that turn them mouldy, and apparently you can still eat it. There are cheeses made with half the milk doesn't turn to cheese, so it's still running, and they call it cottage cheese. There's anything you can possibly think to do to cheese. There's cheese with holes in it. There's cheese without holes in it. So yeah, cheese with wildflowers in is absolutely a thing. Sorry, we are seriously getting off topic for this stream, but you know what? I don't care. People are still watching and chatting, so. Okay, I saw that Ferren posted a link, but I also saw that it's been deleted, so never mind then. Ratmo says, might also be UK versus USA. I think you will have more of a cultural expectation of stiff upper lip. Traditionally, yes. British culture is different to American. I think the difference is rapidly shrinking since the internet has become a thing. I definitely agree with you, Ratmost, in terms of how a lot of boys are raised. I just don't necessarily think I was. And I don't think that's because I was trans, because much though I had feelings in that direction, nobody external to me even believed that being trans was a thing, so I don't think that would have affected how they raised me. But yeah, I certainly wasn't encouraged to speak my mind. I was told to shut up and get on with it. But that's not the case for everyone. I read every every Ratwall book, says Redmost. I read every Redwall book, says Ratmost, but I didn't know I was a rat yet. Well, I'm glad you discovered that. LT Baker has deleted the message because it has a visible IRL name in it. That's probably bad. Ratmos says, I'm deeply food motivated, so I always enjoyed reading about what the fuzzy little guys were eating. Disclaimer for the Redwall books. The foods described in the books are not necessarily safe for the animals described in the books to eat. Badgers actually have quite a fussy diet. Ferrin, okay, hopefully the name that Ferrin and Ratmost are typing is not the personal details that was in the link, otherwise deleting the link was pointless. Ferrin has posted a link again and said, verified that my name is not present. And Tobago says, okay, it's not your name. Okay, yeah. I will assume that if somebody's put their name as attribution to a Street View photo, that they're happy for that name to be public. Because what Street View is, it's public. Okay, I guess I can show this on, on screen. We're definitely not playing Taiji now. This is a forest, I guess. Presumably we are somewhere in the United States, and so these trees do in fact belong here. The only conifers we have in southern England are commercial timber plantations, which are non-native species, but these look like they belong. I'm not necessarily going to know which ferns these are, because they're going to be American ones. Yeah, we don't have this fern. This, based on the fronds, it looks like polypody, but it's the wrong size to be polypody. The trees look like cedars, but I would definitely defer to an expert on that. But if you're just asking, Ferrin, what do I think of this as a habitat, then I think it's very good. This looks like a natural forest. The fact that there are dead trees on the ground is normal in a forest. It suggests it's not being systematically logged, because they would take away the trees if it was. I can see that there's not much growing on the floor here. There's clearly a path been worn through, but that's fine. Like a big conifer forest like this, you don't get much growing on the forest floor. It is mostly just ferns and other things that are tolerant of deep shade. This looks like wood sorrel. I don't know if it is. If it isn't, it might be something related to wood sorrel. Ratmos says, my French teacher described participles as anything a mouse can do with a table. That is an interesting method of teaching grammar, Ratmos. You may replace that with anything a mouse can do with a cheese and add eating to the list of participles. I mean, have you seen the sort of things that rats can chew through, Ratmost? I assure you, rats can eat a table if they put their mind to it. So you don't need to replace it with cheese in order to do that. This was mice, not rats, but they chewed through a cupboard in my parents' house a long time ago in order to get to some food that was in there. And I've no doubt that rats would also manage to do that. Tobago says, can't wait to get to have friends, and Ferrin says, I appreciate the caution. Ratmost says, I'm also glad to have found my true form. Badger's being very picky at Taiji. Oh, these are redwoods. Okay, we have fellow Americans here to confirm. Yeah, I'm not familiar with. They would you could grow redwoods in this country. Like, the climate is okay for them to grow, but we don't have space for giant trees. I think I've seen one. There's a house in a place called Chew Magna, which is near Chew Valley Lake. Harry knows where that is because we visited, which is not far from me. And that has a redwood in its garden. Or it used to have a redwood in its garden. Now it doesn't have a garden, it just has a redwood. And the view out of their front window is just tree. In the UK we have very small houses and very small gardens. Their garden was only about this big. So that was a mistake. Ratmo says, I think that's a sword fern. I'm glad we have an American botanist in here. That does make sense. I have heard of sword ferns, and I do recall them looking somewhat like this. But yeah, this is not a fern we get in this country. The rule of thumb I've heard for forest health is that you should be able to see light through the trees. I think that depends on the trees. If it's conifers, then yes, definitely, because they should be... they should have no lower branches and go straight up like this. If it's an ancient oak woodland in the UK, then the oaks would be growing into each other and almost completely blocking out the light, and they would be broad-leaved. So yeah, an oak woodland would be much, much darker than this. So it's not a universal rule, but yes, Ratmos makes a very good point. In a conifer forest, you would want to have gaps like this to see light. If you went to a commercial plantation, they pack the trees together as close as possible, and then it is actually dark at ground level. There are plantations like that near where I live, and yeah, it's actually dark at ground level, so nothing grows, and not even this stuff sometimes. El Tobago says Humboldt Redwoods State Park in California. Okay, I suppose I could always just look at the map if I want to know where it is, but thank you for confirming. Ratmost says you meant like be on, be under, be beside, be near. Yes. I am aware of what participles are, although whether your French teacher was, not entirely sure. We can nibble through steel, says Ratmost. Yeah, rats are dedicated, and so we have grey squirrels in the UK, which squirrels are basically just rats with bushy tails. I'm sorry, but that's all there is to it. And grey squirrels are invasive here. We have native red squirrels, which are much smaller and now much more rare. Grey squirrels are notorious for eating food out of bird feeders. And we used to have a feeder with a metal mesh around it, and the squirrel did in fact chew through the mesh. Quite impressive. Owen says, I was taught that the shade combined with the tannins in the soil keep out a lot of flora besides sorrel, sword ferns, and the occasional trillum. Like, okay, so this is wood sorrel. Okay, I recognised a plant in another country. Okay, yes, it's a plant that grows here as well. But yeah, okay, so this is wood sorrel. And these are sword ferns. That's good to know. Yeah, I think this is a healthy forest from what I can see, but obviously, caveat that I'm not an expert on these things. Erin says primordial oak forests are very mysterious and enchanting to me. Yes, and we hardly have any left. The UK and especially England has been an unmitigated disaster as far as ecology is concerned, especially in the 20th century, but even before then. For example, people often say, oh, you know, Europeans build their houses out of stone and Americans build them out of paper. Referencing, you know, timber-framed houses where you could punch through the wall if you wanted to. But the thing is, Americans build timber-framed houses because they can, because they actually have enough wood to do that. We couldn't make all our houses timber-framed here. We haven't got enough wood. We have lost, I believe, over 99% of the woodland that once covered England. It really is a massive devastation, but you don't see it like that because of how long and drawn out it is. Like Battle of Hastings, 1066, when the Normans conquered England, we were already well on our way to deforesting the country. Like, it was already done 1,000 years ago, so you don't realise that. Hello, Alice. Thank you so much for raiding in with your party of 6 viewers. Hello, Alice. Hello, Live, Laugh, Lasagna. I still love your name. Hello, Tibago, who I think was already here. Welcome in. We were playing Taiji, which is a puzzle game, but we got sidetracked by a large number of tangents. I suspect Ophelia is in bed, which is a shame because I wish she was here to see the scale of the tangents I've gone on. We're currently looking at a forest in America. Should probably drag us kicking and screaming back to this, which is Taiji. Alice says, accidentally went super late. Whoopsie. I was just thinking, Alice, this is late for you. Well, I will be going for another 20 minutes or so, but if you have to head off to bed, Alice, that's no problem. And thank you once again for your raid. People, if you're not following Alice Sits already, you are missing out. Alice is the coziest streamer on the planet, and I'm not exaggerating. She makes small things. However small you think the things that Alice makes are, think again, they are smaller. My stupid fat fingers would not be able to do what Alice does. I reckon her fingers are about this big because it's like teeny tiny things. And you should go there, and it's amazing. And also, Cass the Lottle, Alice's partner, is also amazing streamer, and you should go there as well. But yeah, they're not here, so. Tibango says Alice got a new mic, and now she sounds more amazing. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to try and catch one of your streams soon, Alice. It's Luma Island's fault, one of those games, you know. I know exactly the sort of game, Alice. I've fallen into that trap before. But yes, hello Raiders, and if anyone's watching me for the first time, hello, my name is Emma. I'm here every Friday, Saturday and Sunday starting around 7 PM UK time. That's around 2 PM Eastern for the Americans. And I mostly play puzzle games. Including today was supposed to be a puzzle game stream. We have had many distractions from that. But honestly, we've still made good progress today. Maybe we can figure out a solution to this puzzle before the end of stream. That would be a good place to stop. But right now I'm playing this game on Fridays. I'm playing Factorio on Sundays, if you like that game. And on Saturdays, we're about to start a new game tomorrow, which is called Human Resource Machine, which is another puzzle game. We'll also be doing Mini Metro at some point, because that was requested by Alhuno earlier in the stream. Ferrin, thank you, Ferrin, for following Alice. Ferrin says, I do love a cozy stream followed. I think I missed some chat before. I missed some chat because the raid came in. Yeah, we were just talking about oak forests and how enchanting they are and how few oak forests there are. Ancient oak forests in the UK, there are very, very few of them, and they are wonderful. Ratmos says, have you ever seen a sugar pine? Not in the UK, I haven't. Let me just Google it and know that I'm thinking of the one that you're thinking of. Yeah, so I've seen pictures of them. There may well be one in a botanical garden somewhere in the UK, but I don't recall seeing one before in person. Do they taste sweet, Ratmost? Are you encouraging me to nom on the trees? Ferrin says we call it redwood sorrel here, has a ton of vitamin C, a purple underside, and is edible and very tangy / sour. Yes. So that's not actually the same wood sorrel as you get in the UK, but it is the same family. And it's the same, it's those very distinctive heart-shaped leaves. It's the same leaves. And yeah, it's Oxalis family, so yes. I recognise the leaves immediately. But thank you for confirming. Pidge says, gotta run, much love. Sorry, Pidge, you probably said that about 15 minutes ago. Thank you so much for stopping by. And yes, everybody go check out Pidge. Pidge is amazing. And Pidge is probably leaving to go and stream, possibly. So we might even raid there afterwards, we'll see. Ferrin says, no, Ratmo says to Ferrin, I know, right, I've mostly seen oak in context of mixed forest or woodland prairie, and it's very different. Yeah, so people think of, forest, trees, that's the end of it. But no, there are so many different types of forest. Even in the UK, you've got ash woodland, you've got oak woodland, you've got Scots pine, you've got native conifers up in Scotland. They are all very different. They have different plants growing on the forest floor. They have different amounts of light. They support different animals. They support different fungi. They have completely different ecosystems, and they are all valuable. Ratmos says, "I love Mini Metro." I'm glad to hear that, Ratmos. Well, you're in my Discord, aren't you, Ratmos? So you will have. Well, please keep an eye on my Discord, and you will get an announcement when I'm about to start Mini Metro. I'm probably going to do Mini Metro and Mini Motorways as a pair of games. I do already own both games, although I haven't played them much, so it'd be good to do them on stream. Alice says, "Have a good rest of stream. I'll look when I get ready for EPs." Yeah, we're going to be ending ourselves soon as well. But thank you once again, Alice, for the raid, and enjoy your sleep. Here we go. You can tap them like a maple. Oh, the sugar pines. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know you can with the maples. Harry, what are you doing on my Discord? Obviously, I'm not going to share a photo of Emma's house, but there were some homes being built nearby when I visited. And then he's done this. That's... I mean... That's not even cheese. I mean, what are you doing? Also, Ferrin, thank you so much for joining my Discord. You need a role to be able to talk in the chat channels, so let me just quickly give you a role. I'll give you the botanist role, because you are interested in the botany. There we go. Ferrin, you should be able to see my chat channels on the Discord now, and everyone has said hi to you. If anybody watching is not in my Discord and would like to be, then you are more than welcome to join. I'll just quickly share the link in chat. There we go. Ferrin says, "The main info I have on sugar pines is that the green cones can be deadly if they fall on you. They're massive." Wow, okay. Yeah, the biggest ones here, like Scots pines or black pines, which get planted in plantations sometimes, they're about that big at biggest. Like, you wouldn't want one to fall on your head, but I've never heard of anyone actually getting killed by one. I suppose, are they more like coconut sized then? Because I know coconuts have killed people. About the size of a hand egg. Oh wow, that is big then. That's like that big? That's scary. Okay. Well, thank you for giving me nightmares about giant pine cones. Okay, let's drag things kicking and screaming back to this puzzle. So this is what I thought the solution was, and that was based on reading the top line left to right, the bottom line right to left, and then having 2 rows of ones in the middle. Maybe I'm only supposed to have 1 row of ones in the middle. In which case, the first one is maybe 2 ones, and it's going to be 1 1. It's going to be 2 ones. It's going to be 2 1. It's going to be 1 1. It's going to be 3 1. That. Okay. So when we build, we're not actually building a column of 4 numbers then. We're building a column of 3 numbers, and there's just some zeros left over. That's weird. I don't get why they put these here then, because this definitely suggests that you want to build a column of 4 numbers, but oh well, what do I know? They are ovoid, elongate, and the largest recorded cone was 26 inches long. That's like that. That's too big for. Oh, okay, yeah. Someone who knows. Conveniently, I do actually have the pine cone of a Scots pine on my shelf. This is not a particularly big one. They do get bigger, but not much bigger. As somebody who thinks of pine cones as being this size, 26 inches is scary. This is obviously not a green fresh one. This one is in fact falling apart on my desk, and would not do any damage if it hit me on the head now because it's empty. But yeah, that's too big. Ratmost says I have a PDF textbook I could link in Discord if you like. Please do, Ratmost. There are quite a few other botany enthusiasts in my stream, such as Verdsky and Wildflower. Clues in the name with her. And a few other people that I don't know if they're still active, but they're certainly in there. So, botany, sharing any botany material in my Discord is always welcome. Yeah, sometimes even longer than hand egg. That's true. I think hand eggs are. Okay, I typed how long is a hand egg into Google and then realised that's probably not the correct. Okay, yeah. So the hand eggs are only about 11 inches long. So twice that length. So yeah, that's okay. Okay. There's a picture on. I'm gonna. I'm gonna share this image briefly with the chat because you need to see this. I am never going into an American pine forest ever. But I assume it's okay to share this image. Like, nobody's face is in it because they're behind the pine cone. It's not quite this, is it? It's there's a difference in scale here. Hello, Izzy the Penguin. Good to see you. Glad you got in here just in time to get your flower of the day. We've got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Izzy, I hope you are doing okay. I hope you're feeling a little better than you were a couple of weeks ago. And thank you for redeeming Common Milkwort as your flower of the day. That is an unusually wide specimen, says Ratmost. Yeah, but there's just the fact that those can exist. I am never going in an American pine forest. Even if you tell me it's not that species, I'm still not going in. Oh dear, T-Bago's added the quote, how long is a hand egg? It's a valid question, and I'm surprised Google doesn't know what I mean. Izzy says, I'm much better, just got back from my work Christmas party, helps I really like my job and co-workers. Yeah, I haven't been to any office Christmas parties since I transitioned, because, yeah, I'd rather not open that kettle of fish and then pour that kettle of fish into a can of worms and then eat the resulting worm fish goo, because that would be about as enjoyable as attending an office Christmas party as a trans woman. But I'm very glad to hear, Izzy, that your colleagues are good to be around, and I hope you had a good time. And I apologise for that metaphor that I appear to have just put in everyone's heads. That's a shame. My workplace is very trans positive. It helps. Yeah, so my workplace is very big on doing the absolute legal minimum necessary to comply with applicable laws, which is not an awful lot in the case of trans people, because trans people are not protected against discrimination under the Equality Act. Only gender reassignment specifically is protected. Yeah, so they can't fire me because I am undergoing gender reassignment, so they can't fire me for being trans. They could have done before I started gender reassignment, but I didn't tell them. I literally didn't tell them I was trans until I'd already changed my name and started hormone replacement. But it's not just in that, but like other things, like sick leave, for example. For many years, their sick leave policy was illegal. They required doctor's notes for absences shorter than the amount that you can legally take without a doctor's note. So people would take that much absence. They'd go to the GP for a note, and the GP would say, you don't need a note, I'm not writing you one. then they'd get discipline for it. So, yeah, that's changed now, but that used to be the case for a long time. Then they tried to say you're only allowed to be off sick 3 times per year. That was a limit. And it's like, well, no. Someone gets sick a 4th time, they're not going to come in. They rolled that policy back pretty quickly after COVID happened, funnily enough. Yeah. It's they do the legal minimum, and that's the thing is you should only expect an employer to do the legal minimum, and I would very much like for the law to be strengthened, because then everybody has, there's no good just putting pressure on one employer to improve, because that's just one employer. You put legislative pressure on, you get the situation improved for everyone, or at least everyone who follows the law, but that's another matter. Right, we only have one more puzzle here, and they've decided to switch things up a bit by making the middle row be a mixture of 1s and 0s. So let's see if we can figure this one out. I'm going to get my pen and paper out again. So we're going left to right on the first row. And actually, the first and last rows are the same again as they were on the other ones. So top row, we read left to right. Bottom row, we read right to left. So that's 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. And then in the middle, we put 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. But that's 3 rows. What do we do for the 4th row? Because it's not just duplicate the 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Otherwise, the solution to puzzle 2 would have been different. Is it just that it's anything that has 1 when it's 1 or 3 when it's... Oh, it is. Okay. You know, earlier when I suggested, if it's the rule when there's 2 numbers is it's an odd number of numbers, as in, if there's 2 digits, it's the ones where there's only one of them is a 1. And then here, I was like, well, if there's 4 digits, it's when one of them is a 1 or 3 of them are 1s. So I did say, what if the sort of meta overarching rule is an odd number of the digits have to be 1s? That's actually what it was here, so I was overthinking it before. You're not duplicating the middle row. You're just taking these 3 rows, and it's when there's an odd number of 1s. That's all it is. But you have to flip the bottom row. The confusing part is that they don't tell you which direction to read the middle row with a little dot, but I think because the middle row is symmetric on all of these, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's going to be quite a convenient place to end, because we've just finished an entire section. I'll just go back to the entrance and make sure that we have in fact unlocked the 1010 area. It's quite a long way. I should have used the fast travel thing. I still haven't found... Oh no, I have found the fast travel thing. It was right out on the side of the cliff though. Yeah, look, the 10101 is now lit up. So we have 3 areas left to go. We have the line area that I don't know the rule for yet. We have this area which I didn't get stuck on the puzzles, but there's a puzzle I haven't unlocked and I can't figure out how. And then we've got the paintings. The paintings require you to know all of the other rules. So what I'll probably do next stream is figure out this, then go and do the paintings, and then try and figure that out. El Tobago says, can I suggest we raid Nespa, a much loved community member and fellow streamer, sadly passed away, could do with some love. Yeah, so obviously Nespa is always on my list of potential raids. And we have raided her many times before. Can certainly do so again. Yeah, because I did say we might raid Pidge if he'd started, but he hasn't actually started yet. So, yeah, we will raid Nespa. We will do that. Thank you for the suggestion / reminder. I had seen that Bago, but thank you for the reminder. Oh wow, people are doing things on my Discord. Once again, if anyone wants to join my Discord, free to do so. I think most of you are already in there. And I will leave Taiji there. And I will say thank you everybody for watching. Thank you especially to Alice for the raid. You may have already headed off to bed, but thank you so much for bringing your community here. Thank you to El Tibago for doing the redeems. Thank you Ratmost, Ferrin and friends for providing a lot of tangents today. That was very much. I like chatting to my friends. I like that. That's a good thing to do. It doesn't have to be puzzle games all day, all the time. Ratmost is trying to shrink down a PDF file enough that it goes on the Discord. Well, don't worry if it doesn't. I appreciate you sharing information. Ratmost also says, I found a 1910 photo of a redwood grove with some people for scale. You know, I realise how enormous the redwoods are, and I realise a lot of the really old big ones have been cut down, which is a shame, but I think there's still quite a lot of them left. Like, one's like as wide as a house. We don't have, as I say, trees quite that impressive native to UK. The size of some of our forests that are left, you'd only fit about 4 trees in if they were that big, to be honest. Tangent class is over, says Matcha. It was a bit like that today, wasn't it? Also, we've lasted till the end of the stream with Blowhigh as well. I suppose he was redeemed in the second half. Usually Blowhigh is excused from duty during the break if we had him from the start. Right, let me get a raid set up to the Nespa. Nespa plays Nintendo games, especially retro NES games, on original hardware. And is an awesome personality. Also very chatty, likes to go off on tangents, insists on reading and responding to every message in chat, which can take a long time. Because she's quite a popular streamer, so if you thought I was struggling to keep up with chat sometimes, that's nothing compared to Nespa. Today she will be playing Diddy Kong Racing. 240 pages. Yeah, feel free to DM me Ratmost if you think there's anything interesting that the general Discord wouldn't want to see. I will get the raid set up now. Nespa. We go. The raid has been created. I encourage everybody to share the raid message in chat when we raid in. We shall do the cozy floral enthusiasts one today. I think that makes sense given how much we were talking about plants today, which was a lot more than average. So here is a message for you to copy if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you're still welcome to put a message in. Use any emotes you like. Here's one with dancing dinosaurs that you can copy. I will be back tomorrow at I'll probably be at 7 p.m. I'm not visiting family tomorrow because of the storm, so if my power is working, we'll start a bit earlier tomorrow, so I'll be back at 7 tomorrow with Human Resource Machine, which is a programming puzzle game. Sunday we will continue with Factorio. My goal is to try and make it to Yellow Science, perhaps, if we can, and maybe also build some robots and other fancy things. And then back here, same time, same place next week with Taiji, and maybe we will finish the 3 remaining areas. Maybe we won't. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. Ratmost last minute flower there. Thank you all for watching, and bye for now.